Let's go. Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal. I do mean old. PeaceLoveMusic here with another episode of the Let's Go Good Morning Show, brought to you live by DeOrganized Media in partnership with our good friends over at BitcoinLive, Decentralized Broadcasting. It is Friday. We have made it to the end of the week. We have one more day left to crush it. And we have been crushing it this week in stacks on Bitcoin. I know I don't measure crushing it by the price action. By the way, you guys probably know that about me now. Also, if you do hear some squeaking or random barking and whining in the background, it's not my wife. It's actually Buddy the Wonder Pup playing with his toys and or just he doesn't like being in his pen, but he chews and he's a little bit of a fresh puppy. He doesn't know any better. And I can't watch him while I'm broadcasting to you. So it's a little bit distracting to me. But here we are. Another end of the week. We have a great show for you today. GP is in the back. I'm going to get to the news in a minute. And we have Find2Earn at 9:30. Do please share out the stream, by the way. If you like our show, you like what we're doing, you like what we bring, it helps us tremendously when you share out the stream, comment, say hi in the live chat. It really also helps us tremendously when you guys do that. And also, please know, this is news. We're providing news and information, some entertainment. Sometimes it's entertaining, I hope. And, some education, some educational opportunities, but never is it financial advice. Always do your own research. Never invest money you cannot afford to lose. But do stay tuned. Play Find2Earn. We got the ROO space coming up, the ROO segment coming up at 10 a.m. Jack will be here. GP will hang out for that. Then at 10:30, Hattie and Hero Gamer and a number of others will join us for the second episode of the DeOrganized takeover of the Stacks Improvement and Community Innovation Call. That'll be 10:30 a.m. every Friday going forward for the foreseeable future, as long as they'll let us do it. And really excited about getting all into that. There's a ton of news. So with all that being said, I'm going to get to the numbers this morning. Bitcoin coming in at 82,189. Stacks holding on to the 60-cent range. Good. This is all good if we can kind of settle here and start to trend back up. It could do that. Not guaranteed though. Still unsure where it's going to go from this point, but 61.37 cents for Stacks, holding on to the 64th place. It had gone down as low as 70, so it's slowly creeping back up in the market cap rankings. On CoinMarketCap, Fear and Greed Index up to 21. I know up to 21 sounds unusual, but that's where we are, out of the extreme fear range, back into just fear. The top three gainers on CoinMarketCap are XCN, Onyx Token, Curve, DAO, and Fartcoin, making another leg up. Stacks, when you stack your stacks, you earn BTC, native Bitcoin. That's how Stacks works. Stacks is a layer 2, the leading layer 2 on Bitcoin. And the way it connects, it has Bitcoin finalization. And the way it connects to Bitcoin is through a process called proof of transfer. And so in that, when you hold stacks, you stack stacks, you secure the network, and you earn Bitcoin. SBTC is programmable Bitcoin for DeFi. Stacks has fast, low-fee transactions, proof of transfer security, and native Bitcoin rewards. Tell your friends. In the Stacks DeFi world, Stacks Hermetica is offering 18% yield on USDH. USDH is a Bitcoin-backed dollar stablecoin. They have over $5 million total value locked and growing on the platform. And now you can earn yield in USDH at Velar. PerpDex on Stacks. Velar has launched their long-awaited PerpDex. Now you can engage in perp trading, stake your Velar, pair your favorite tokens with SBTC, earn yield, and trade tokens all on Velar. You can DCA into Bitcoin, Stacks, runes, and more effortlessly at bitflow.finance. Bitflow also hosts the deepest USDH pool on Stacks with $832,000 in liquidity, $832,000 in liquidity, offering top-tier swap rates. Alex surpassed $2.6 billion in volume, launched their DAMM, DAMM, Bitcoin's first concentrated liquidity DEX, unveiled Alex AI, token listing tools, USDT via Jolt, and wrapped Surge 3 with top SBTC yields. Zest is offering 3.63% yield on SBTC. SBTC is Bitcoin. It's just Bitcoin that's in the Stacks, brought into Stacks to be utilized and deployed into the Stacks very robust DeFi ecosystem. You can earn yield on Bitcoin right now at 3.63% over at Zest, with the highest yield at Zest right now at 22.66% on AEUSDC. That's same USDC that you get on Ethereum and Solana, and you bridge it with Allbridge into Stacks. That is, you can get 22% yield on that at Zest today. Over at StackingDAO, you can earn 9.1% on your STSTX, 9.18% yield in native BTC, or 8.84% with rewards paid in SBTC with their STSTX BTC product. The top three Stacks token gainers on STX tools for the last 24 hours are STX AI, BDC, and the Honey Badger don't give a F. What's happening on Stacks today? Let's check out the calendars. Going over and checking the Stacks.co calendar. We have the weekly SIP and innovation call is happening at 10:30 on DeOrganized Media. Purple Pill Friday happening at 5 p.m. today with Dan and Brad. That's Dan Trevino and Brad, aka Fluid Voice. Great vibe. OG. It's the longest running Stacks oriented Twitter space. Been doing it for years. They're building some great stuff at Boom Wallet. They're working on the BNS V2 project, and there's just it's a great vibe. That's the place to be to catch up on what's going on in the space, the ecosystem for the week over at Purple Pill Friday. And then you can round that out at 7 p.m. with the DeOrganized nightly show hosted by our OG, like the dude is just the biggest Chad in the space, really. GPSC. He's going to join me here. He's going to be doing a bunch of stuff all day long, and then he's going to round out it with a show later. And we actually have Ishan Singh one of the winners from the Biddle Battle with his Bit Forward project, going to come talk about that tonight, along with all our regular guests to kind of trickle in and out and say hi and show us what they're working on the nightly show. So tune in at 7, and something called Op Next is happening today. That's at opnext.dev. Stacks contributors will be attending OpNext in Virginia. OpNext is a scaling conference for Bitcoin builders, developers, and founders. So that's happening today too. You can check out more about that at opnext.dev and/or head over to the Stacks events calendar on stacks.co. And just double checking, we covered all of those items as well that are on the Organized Media schedule. If you have an X Space, a live stream, or event series you want to share with the community, head over to deorganized.media, create a user account, and we'll add your event to the community calendar, free for everyone. I would take advantage of that sooner than later, by the way. Get more visibility and let our audience know what's happening. Whether it's a one-time event or a recurring series, we've got you covered. Trump vetoes IRS DeFi rule, bolstering crypto industry. It's not really a veto. President Trump has signed a bill nullifying an IRS rule that sought to classify decentralized exchanges, DeFi, as brokers, thereby subjecting them to stringent tax reporting requirements. The rule, finalized in late 2024, aimed to increase tax compliance but faced criticism for potentially stifling innovation. Trump's veto is seen as a significant win for the crypto industry, aligning with his administration's pro-crypto stance and efforts to foster digital asset growth. New York Attorney General Letitia James has urged Congress to establish a comprehensive federal regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies. In a letter to congressional leaders, James advocated for mandatory registration of crypto companies and minimum listing standards for tokens. She emphasized the need for stronger oversight to protect investors from fraud and scams, aligning with ongoing efforts to regulate stablecoins and other digital assets. The way you protect people from frauds and scams is you charge and actually handle and put people in jail, punish the people that actually perpetrate frauds. That's what you do. It's not that complicated. We already have laws for that. Why don't you just get to work, Letitia? On April 17th, approximately $300 million worth of Trump-themed meme coin will become available for sale as their lockup period ends. These tokens, primarily owned by entities linked to Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust, have raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest. Given Trump's dual role as a crypto project promoter and policymaker, the upcoming token unlock could impact market dynamics and investor sentiment. We'll see. I don't hold any of that. Big banks earning may signal recession risks. A major U.S. bank like J.P. Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and Morgan Stanley report as major U.S. banks and Morgan Stanley report first quarter earnings. Analysts are watching for signs of financial strain amid market volatility and recession fears. Despite healthy quarter one performances, recent economic uncertainties, including tariff tensions, have led to cautious outlooks, especially by the media. JP Morgan, for instance, is expecting to report earnings of $4.63 per share, up from $4.44 a year ago per share, with revenue rising to $44 billion. Why would the news be focusing on we're bracing for negative, we're worried about this, there's all this doom, but the expectation is for higher numbers? Maybe they missed the mark, and that would send things a little bit murky for the short term. Maybe they don't miss the mark, and then everything's gonna go the other way. Finance and central bank officials from China, Japan, and South Korea met in Malaysia to discuss the implications of U.S. tariffs on regional economies. The discussions focused on maintaining financial market stability and supporting economic recovery amid global trade tensions. China Central Bank emphasized its commitment to a moderately loose monetary policy to navigate the challenges posed by the tariffs. GP, I just realized I never sent the link to the morning show DM group. Could you do that for me while I finish up the news for the good people? Thank you, sir. ETF flows on April 10th, 2025. Bitcoin spot ETFs experienced a net outflow of 149.5 million, marking the sixth consecutive day of withdrawals. Whew. Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund, FBTC, led with an outflow of $74.6 million, followed by Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust with $44.6 million in outflows. Ethereum spot ETFs saw a total net outflow of $39 million on the same day. So actually, the Ethereum outflows do seem to be tapering. Big news. Hex Trust, a leading digital asset financial institution, has announced expanded support for Stacks and SBTC. Stacks decentralized Bitcoin-backed asset. SBTC is Stacks' decentralized Bitcoin-backed asset. This move follows Hex Trust's existing partnership with Stacks Asia Foundation and aims to advance Bitcoin DeFi adoption. With Bitcoin holdings concentrated in Asian and UAE markets, Hex Trust is positioned to meet institutional demand in these regions. Clients can now deploy SBTC across applications like Zest, Alex, and Hermetica, offering Bitcoin-denominated yield and a seamless user experience. The announcement comes as SBTC's capacity is tripled to 3,000 BTC within 24 hours of its second cap launch, reflecting its growing traction. So right now, this is locked too. You can't put more BTC into Stacks just yet. There's a huge demand for more incoming. But Hex Trust support aligns with its mission to provide secure, compliant access to Bitcoin's evolving utility. Hex Trust sees Stacks as a no-brainer to supporting Bitcoin's evolving utility. Stacks is evolving the utility of Bitcoin. Don't miss out. Bitfinex now supports STX trading pairs. One of the world's leading digital asset exchanges, Bitfinex has officially launched trading for STX. The native token of the Stacks blockchain. Trading began on April 9th at 2 p.m. and is now live, 2 p.m. UTC, and is now live with pairs against the US dollar and Tether, so STX USD, STX USDT. Deposits are open and liquidity appears to be sufficient for active trading. There are unconfirmed reports suggesting Bitfinex may become a network signer for the Stacks ecosystem, though no official statement has been released at this time. I believe that is not accurate, may not be happening, but there was a reason why there was a number of publications that came out with that as being a news. So I don't know if there's something that we're just not supposed to talk about. Who knows? Be huge. It's just getting listed on Bitfinex is a tremendous achievement for Stacks, and congratulations to the ecosystem for that, as well as the Hex Trust news. That's huge stuff. Stacks ranks number 3 in stablecoin market cap growth with 437% surge in quarter one. In the first quarter of 2025, the Stacks blockchain experienced a remarkable 437% increase in its stablecoin market capitalization, positioning its third among all chains for stablecoin growth during this period. This surge reflects the growing adoption of an integration of stablecoins within the Stacks ecosystem, highlighting its expanding role in the decentralized finance landscape. Zest Protocol, a Bitcoin liquidity platform, has implemented a low borrowing cap of 10 SBTC as an initial measure to observe usage patterns and market dynamics. This strategic move aims to gather insights into borrower behavior and protocol performance, ensuring a balanced and sustainable lending environment. Zest Protocol continues to focus on enhancing Bitcoin's utility within DeFi by facilitating secure and efficient lending mechanisms. We have officially taken over the Stacks Improvement and Innovation Weekly Call, now streaming every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time with Hero Gamer, Hattie, and me. And our friends, whoever wants to join is welcome. We have lots of seats open on the live stream. Last week's kickoff episode dove deep into the future of blockchain naming system, BNS. Exploring usability, accessibility, and what's next for .BTC names on Bitcoin. This weekly live stream is your front row seat to the Stacks Improvement Proposal process. We're spotlighting critical protocol upgrades, community-led initiatives, and giving developers, builders, and creators a platform to collaborate and be heard. Catch it live on DeOrganized every Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, right after the morning show. Join the conversation, shape the future, build with us, and let's build better together. We're not building back, we're building forward. The Find2Earn format blends real rewards with community fun, creating an interactive way to onboard users and unlock true play-to-earn potential. Join us daily on DeOrganized for live rounds powered by BoostX app, where showing up pays off and fun fuels the future. Let's play, let's earn, let's grow with Find2Earn by the Game Master, Xenitron. The BoostX app Chrome extension just leveled up. You can now send STX, BTC, and other Stacks tokens directly to anyone on X with a BTC, STX, or other BNS names just by interacting with their post. Send crypto with a like. Get instant notifications. Now supports Stacks NFTs coming soon. Mint NFTs on X. With full Stacks wallet integration. BoostX makes tipping rewarding and engaging with your X fam seamless, and it's only getting better. Ready to boost? Head over to boostx.cc. Try it now. And you should head over to BNS.1 to claim your own .BTC, .STX, or other BNS name and lock in your digital presence on Bitcoin. The latest platform upgrades include a sleek new interface, improved marketplace features, and smoother management tools, making it easier than ever to buy, trade, and rep your BNS across the ecosystem. Own your name, control your identity. Start at BNS.1. The Stacks Foundation has launched Stacks Ascent, a structured accelerator program designed to guide developers and startups building on the Stacks blockchain with a 5-tier progression system. Ascent offers grants, mentorship, and exposure as participants advance from idea to mainnet-ready projects. Builders receive support in product design, go-to-market strategy, and even investor introductions. Ascent also connects teams with top ecosystem partners like Bitcoin Frontier Fund, Hero, and Trust Machines. The initiative is a major push to strengthen Bitcoin Layer 2 innovation by nurturing real sustainable projects from the ground up. And if you are getting started or looking to get started on building on Stacks, you can head over to stacks.co/build/get-started, or right over the top hand corner at stacks.co. It says get started, and there you can access developer tools, beginner guides, and full app building resources. Whether you're new to blockchain or an experienced builder, you'll find everything you need, including opportunities to get paid to build. Don't wait. Start building on Stacks today. And real quick, I want to get a word in for our sponsors. We are so fortunate to have some great DeFi tools in our ecosystem on Stacks, and they support what we're doing here at DeOrganized, and we're really, really appreciative of that. One of those sponsors is StackingDAO, the leading liquid staking platform for the Stacks network. StackingDAO is changing the game by letting users earn up to 10% APY on their STX while keeping their assets liquid. Unlike traditional staking, their unique design means no minimums and users start earning rewards immediately, so there are zero switching fees when moving from other stacking pools. Plus, you've got options. Choose to get your rewards in STX or SBTC, whatever fits your strategy. I use both. If you want to start earning yield today, head over to StackingDAO.com and jump in. StackingDAO, where liquidity meets opportunity. And another great partner in the space. We are super psyched to be working with Bitflow. Bitflow is your go-to DEX on Stacks, a powerful aggregator pulling the best swap rates from Alex Arcadico and Velar. Trade BTC, SBTC, STX, USDC, and ROO seamlessly. It's the only DEX on Stacks with native BTC swaps. You can add SBTC or PBTC with no impermanent loss, single-sided liquidity, no pairing required. Use the DCA tool to auto-buy BTC, SIP 10 tokens, or runes, and you can start at bitflow.finance/pool. Connect your Xverse or Leather wallet and access those single-sided liquidity functions in the wallet manager function. And that wraps up our news for the day. Good morning, hero. Good morning, nobody famous. Good morning, elder statesman. What's up? What's up? Good morning, wine twits, bottle swaps, STX, the head of the STX AI project. What's up? What's up? Good morning. And we have our friends, GP. What's up, GP? How are you today, man?
Doing good. Happy Friday.
Thank God we made it. And we have with us the ever lovely, very sleek looking today with the dark motif. How are you doing today, Melanie?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing very well. Feeling good.
I like the men in black today.
Yeah, we are. Let's see if I think actually we have a full dark motif today.
Yeah,
Jack coming in with the dark hat. He's got he's got the flannel. He's always got to rock the flannel a little bit. But
I can go change into like my leather, sweatshirt or something. We make this work. I don't want to stick out.
No, well, you're still rocking the motif though. You're definitely
also blurry.
It looks like you're like a little overlit from the front.
No, there's no light in the front. I'm sitting in my lounge.
It could be the sun coming in the back then.
You mean to tell me that I went and dropped my daughter off and got here on time? I am a legend. I am a fucking legend.
You are a legend for so many reasons. That's one of the many, right?
Didn't even break any speed laws. Like, amazing.
That you'll admit
no laws broken.
I'm going to close the shutters and see if that works. How do I turn my screen off? Because I'm wearing hot pants and I don't want to with my fancy shirt.
Oh, well, I could tell you, but now I don't want to.
I'm just going to...
There's a little... If you just press the V button, it'll turn off your camera.
The which button?
V. Letter V.
Okay.
This button.
Oh, well, that's right.
No, not that.
Yeah, that's okay. Leave me off for now and don't randomly put me on.
Okay.
Oh,
gotcha.
She's trusting, not verifying.
Well, it's not everyone. And it's time.
Do not turn on.
We're not doing it. You're good, Kitty. We wouldn't do that to you.
Good.
Trip says dark mode activated because we're all wearing
dark mode activated.
We're all in the dark today.
That's better.
So many amazing things going on in the space right now, but that's
better.
Yeah, that is way better. I think it was you just had too much light coming in from the outside. But the Hex Trust deal actually, I think, is the biggest deal we got. That is crazy. It's bigger than the Bitfinex listing. It's bigger than a lot of things because it's going to open up a lot of legitimate options for more liquidity to flow into stacks.
What is that? What happened?
Hex Trust is a digital financial institution, like very well respected in Asia. And they've announced that they're expanding support for Stacks in SBTC.
Oh, wow.
With a partnership with Stacks Asia Foundation. So it's looking to evolve Bitcoin liquidity is part of Hex Trust's like what their aim is, what their goal is to expand Bitcoin's utility. So they see Stacks and Stacks with SBTC as a major way to expand Bitcoin utility, which is obvious too, right? I mean, that's why we're all here, because we see that. We're all here because we see that Stacks is the inevitable place where Bitcoin utility is going to thrive. We've already got these robust DeFi ecosystem protocols, Hermetica and Zest and StackingDAO, Bitflow, LR, Alex. Alex has a bunch of different apps, and then like there's and Arcadico, like there's even Charisma. You have stuff like Charisma DAO and STX tools and STX City. Like we have so many apps already running, functioning, and so many more coming. And on Bitcoin, like we have Bitcoin DeFi, we have Bitcoin decentralized apps, we have a creator economy coming in all sorts of places. We have so many cool things coming. And now we're
sorry.
No, go. You go. I'm sorry.
No, I was just chatting last night with I interviewed Mark Hendrickson, the GM at Leather.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because he was saying as well that in terms of their roadmap, they are really just, kind of positioning the direction to just focus on Stacks. They're going to commit themselves to a roadmap that is Stacks, not going to worry about all the other L2s, everything else going on around, he was saying, interestingly enough, they retrospectively, not sure if they would have even gone down the ordinals path, so very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what happened with ordinals was good and bad. Like everybody in Stacks immediately pivoted to ordinals, which was good because it allowed for more functionality with ordinals, right? For retail. That was nice. And it I think it did open a lot of doors, and one of the biggest doors it opened was this idea that we need to use Bitcoin for other things other than just sitting on it like a pet rock, like Maxis want to do, right? So that, and it really showed the necessity for L2s in general. So in that way it was really good. But it's good to hear that Leather is like focused 100% on site. It's smart because even like Xverse is looking at a lot of other, they're working the EVM chains and so forth. So I mean it's a chance for Leather to really just have its niche, and I think that's smart.
Exactly.
That's a good move.
That is it. Just choose your lane, because we were just talking about how it's very hard to even have a year roadmap, because that's what happened to them. They had this beautiful roadmap lined up, and in February 2023 it was just like, okay, we need a new roadmap now urgently. That's completely different. So he was just saying now they're just going to, it's a great lesson that you just stick with what or what your initial plan is. But yeah, it was a very interesting conversation last night. And I think with the ordinals, I've got a lot to say about that, because at the time I was really, one of the reasons I think we all started got involved with Stacks is because of our interest to really do something with Bitcoin, make it scalable, and I think when ordinals came along, that was a beautiful thing, because it allowed us to put really beautiful things, beautiful fine art on Bitcoin, and then people started putting ugly things on, dick pics and those ugly frogs and just like stupid things. And that kind of really pissed me off.
I missed the dick
And-
pic meta. Thank God.
Uh,
I collected them all.
or whatever they
Them
called,
all,
yeah,
yeah.
and just like
One.
words, like hundreds of, Bitcoin ordinals, those precious early Bitcoin ordinals, just ugly. And
What are the ugly
Fortunately-
frogs?
Fortunately or
Huh?
unfortunately, depending on your perspective, Kitty gets most of the dick pics.
I thought I was.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, then runes came along, and I think, yeah, that's what happens when I get a dick pic. I just move straight on.
If I got a dick pic,
Nothing-
I'd be. What's the kids say? Is it not traumatized? Come on, what's
Yeah.
his name?
I wouldn't want to get a picture
Trigger.
of a vagina or a penis. I'm sorry. I don't want to see either. Boobs I can deal with. Boobs are
Yeah,
hard.
Boobs
Class-
are universal.
class
Wait. Boobs
Class
are a universal good, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
even
they're nurturing and good for everybody.
But
Everybody.
then,
Straight men love
I
them.
I was
Straight women.
constantly taking my boobs out, right? At any given day, I would be like, woohoo! And
Keep the trend going.
That's
yeah,
what they-
let me just-
that's what they call
we'll just
fine
stop
art.
there for a minute, as everybody processes that thought. But when I became a mom, this weird thing happened, and it was like, these are no longer like sexual,
Yeah, it's
or these
It's-
are
it's
like
more utility.
precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are
Yeah, they-
precious, and
they went from a
bring-
meme
they
coin
feed
to a
life.
utility coin.
Huh? What?
So they went from meme coins to utility coins.
There was a
Yeah.
signal somewhere.
That is exactly it. That is exactly it. So, yeah. Anyway, Bitcoin, but let's just say Bitcoin a few times so people know it's not just a show
Bitcoin,
about
not
boobs.
just
Craig
beyond.
Wright. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think runes came along and really I think it damaged the ordinals market.
There was a number of factors there too, by the way. We had the halving happened at the same time, but we had already kind of had overhyped price action because of ETFs before the halving. So the halving ended up being more of a sell the news event. We had stuff like Stacks that was supposed to launch fast blocks at that time, but we weren't ready. There was a lot of stuff all happened at the same time. Plus, runes got launched. And so anybody could make a coin on Bitcoin. It was novel. Actually, wasn't even that cheap to mint them because the fees were.
Well, that's the thing. It had a terrible user experience. It was
Right. There was nowhere to trade them. Magic Eden put something together kind of quickly, but there was no market for them either.
My
So
first ordinals are sitting in Sparrow wallets. I've got 7 ordinals. I don't even know what they are anymore. I can't remember. But I've got 7 ordinals sitting in Sparrow wallets that I still don't want to touch because I'm nervous that, because it's an Excel spreadsheet, basically.
You gotta get somebody who knows what they're doing to help retrieve them
Yeah.
for you. That's not too bad. Look, here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna make a prediction because they're rebranding. Magic Eden's kind of at the forefront of this, rebranding runes into Bitcoin meme coins, right? Like they figured, okay, runes, I guess it's too abstract. No one really knows what that is, but everyone knows what Bitcoin is. Everyone knows what meme coin is. So if they're successful, runes will be the thing that brings attention to ordinals. That will, because now you just have people like us who were there early, right? And now, like, most people don't really know what ordinals are. No one's really paying attention to NFTs in general. So if Magic Eden's successful and they were just they just bought that platform, I can't remember the name of it, Slingshot, that will allows people to use fiat to go and start interacting with crypto assets. If they're successful, actually it'll come full circle. Everything in the space tends to come full circle over time, you know.
Yeah.
But the
It's
other
like the
important
tides,
thing
in and
to
out.
remember, if you really look at like the ordinals, you know, mini bull run we had, that was pretty much where retail topped out. You know, there was since then the price action has been driven institutionally on Bitcoin. So, you know, retail hasn't really been doing a whole lot outside of, you know, Solana pump fund stuff that died off. So I think that, you know, a lot of this price action we've had with Bitcoin has been institutional driven, and retail just needs a reason to come back, and retail needs money too, you know. So I mean, that's part of it. I think people underestimate how broke everyone is.
It'll definitely happen. I think interest in NFTs are going to come back big time. I think ordinals are going to, you know, specifically around the art. I mean, if you look at what art historians are saying, people who, you know, study art and that are collecting. I mean, I've got some incredible pieces that I know are going to be really valuable one day, because it's the next iteration of art. It can't not be, because you have to imagine what the future entails. And when we're inside rooms together, which we will be one day, you know, one day when we do the news, we're all going to be in a room and all the people watching are going to be sitting in chairs around us. You know, we're going to be like the Oprah Winfrey Show or whatever.
Or The View.
Oh, the View, I mean, yes. So we're going to be like The View, and we'll have an in-studio audience. We'll be able to sell tickets to that situation.
We'll have to read legal disclaimers after we get things wrong.
Yeah. So
Man,
this is how it's going to look. I know this.
We're going to be
because
like DeOrganized, guys. That's what we're
Yeah.
doing. We're setting a new standard as well.
Yeah, the day
What
that
else?
Whoopi Goldberg was talking about Bitcoin, you know, on the internet, I'm out. I'm done. Like,
Which one of us is Rosie O'Donnell, though?
But wait, I want
I'm
to
the
tell
closest
you.
to Whoopi, I guess.
What I wanted to say
You
there
get to be
is,
Whoopi. Come on. She's the coolest one.
I'm throwing things at you. Listen to me. What I wanted to say is you have to imagine what those rooms are going to look like. So in your head, sit in that room and look around. You're not going to have like a Minecraft poster on the wall. You're going to have art on the wall. So if you want to look good about where you are, when you're sitting in your office, in your digital office, you're going to want it to look amazing, you know? So we are collecting art for those rooms, those digital rooms. That's what I believe.
I've always felt that way. Some of y'all will remember way back when CrashPunk's NFTs were really playing with the metaverse a little bit, and they made that, they did a preview of a CrashPunk's animated show, and they previewed it in the metaverse, and
Decentraland.
That's when I went and read Snow Crash, because I'd never read it before then. I was like, okay, I have to read this now. And yeah, you're 100% right. Like, and I've felt like that since then, that NFTs are going to be so big because it, you know, things exactly like you're saying, as people have more, you know, interactive digital lives, you know, things like NFTs.
The infrastructure is not
things
really
you own.
there. Right. The infrastructure is not
That's
really
right.
there yet for you to be the only one that actually, for you to actually only be able to display it because you hold it. You know, that hasn't really evolved yet.
No.
You know, but yes.
And art screens will evolve, right? So right now I have friends, and I think I've mentioned this before, who buy fine art, oil on canvas, expensive art at auctions or in galleries. They crate it and they send it to storage. These are pure investments. So, and one of the reasons a lot of them do this, I mean, I've got a friend who literally his paintings are like stacked like this, like for like maybe 5 meters and 2 meters from the wall. This is all the paintings that he's bought. He hasn't got enough space in his house to hang them. So this is a big problem. So when you can have those screens, ultimately, these digital screens are going to become so good that it's going to look like a canvas. It's going to look so real. And you'll be able to then put your art on a screen. You'll have like 6 screens in your house, and your art will just constantly be in some sort of curated gallery that changes, you know? So it's that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I want to shout out a couple people in the live chat. Hero noticed, and I actually noticed yesterday when I saw you, Jack, that you are looking smoother. He says, "Is Jack looking smoother today, or is it just me?" And
Yeah,
I noticed that
coming in with a razor.
Yeah, Jack's definitely a little. I probably need to do some grooming myself. Good morning, Mr. Wagme. You guys that don't know Mr. Wagme and his Block 9 project or company, you should definitely be giving him a follow. What's up, Millie, my buddy, Leo Millie? I gotta actually catch one of your spaces. I miss you. I haven't chatted with O'Millie and Leo Millie in a little while. Awesome dude. You should definitely be following Millie. And Elder Statesman is observing that we do have some really great turnout. We've been doing great the last few weeks. Our audience is growing.
Thank you.
And part of that is for viewers like you, Elder Statesman, who are coming on, supporting our shows, enjoying our content, sharing out the streams.
Ooh, how much is it? 800 and something now?
Across streams, we're at 840. On the DeOrganized stream, it's like 750, 787 just went up.
I have something I want to put to you guys. I saw someone post this yesterday, and it's really typical, like, you know, bear market style content, sentiment. But it was, okay, crypto development is at an all-time low, and he listed several reasons why, mostly focused on AI. But he was like, basically, like, the only thing that we've accomplished in this industry are, you know, DeFi, basically, stable coins, and what was the other one he said? I think it was DeFi, stable coins, something else. Anyway.
Ugly frogs, I think it was, right?
Or one of those things.
Immutable dick pic. But what do y'all think? Because I have my ideas and I have my, you know, my thoughts. But what do y'all think? Do you think that when people post things like that, do you think they're on point, or do you think they're missing something?
I think that they're, well, so number one, you said it was DeFi,
stables,
stable coins, and what, or just those, and that's all we have, and that's not enough. I'm not sure.
That's all that's really like been innovated. That's all that really matters.
Well, I mean, you should say my response if I saw that tweet would just be, okay, describe what you think should be created by now.
That's a great response. I would actually say that they also are missing something, though, and maybe they need to get more involved, start participating more in some of the conversations, engagement in these shows, in the Discord channels, in the Twitter conversations, in the spaces. Get to know what's happening in the ecosystem, because there is a lot more happening than DeFi and stables. What we have in Stacks is a very robust DeFi ecosystem for a layer 2. It's functioning. Like most of the layer 2s trying to build on Bitcoin right now have concepts for their DeFi, but they don't have functioning DeFi. They don't have protocols that are actually engaging and expanding. And so the stuff and stables, which we do need more of, but we have a native Bitcoin stable coin for USDH. I mean, that we have all that stuff here now. That's all major accomplishments. But this is on, we're not broadcasting on Bitcoin, but we're talking about Bitcoin and Stacks all the time. We wouldn't have a daily show with a morning show and a night show, and Melanie doing a focus every week, and we have Landy doing TA with Bitcoin and Stacks all the time, and he's always we wouldn't have all of that with just DeFi and stable coins. there's a ton of stuff being built on our ecosystem.
And that's the
We talk
thing.
about it all the time.
But I also think that, impatience is a terrible thing. It's where people, they lose out, and I think anybody who says that, I look at that person and my first thought is shame, that you can be impatient and rude, because look what we have achieved. First of all, like, that is a huge thing. And it's something that's going to be really helpful going forward. And it's a base layer for all these things that can be built atop it. Things take time. That person was probably like 20.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, if you look around and you apply a lens of decentralization, what in the world would benefit regular people from being decentralized? And if you look there, that's where all the innovation is and will be. Right? Like, this idea that, okay, so decentralized science, for instance, that's going to be massive. The idea of decentralized science is going to change, that entire field. It'll be as disrupted as Bitcoin is disrupted in the traditional financial system. You don't even have to think hard to come to that.
No, you're right. Well, and so that's what we used to have, decentralized science, because the university system wasn't as consolidated in their dogma, so to speak, as they are now. So having more decentralized finance is actually going to open up more opportunity and more function for people. Decentralized education is actually going to open up a lot more. It's all going to happen. We're just building out the rails right now, but it is amazing what we have coming.
And what's cool? I want to get these guys on the show. I got a DM last night. Big project. We talk about this all the time. The idea of decentralizing venture capital investments.
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone's got the protocol built out. It's live. It's on base. It's really cool looking. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like, this is we've been having these kind of conversations for years now. And so,
and it's all happening.
Right.
And it's hard in our day because everything happens more rapidly. But think of how far we keep coming in so quickly. It's hard to actually be patient, like Kitty said. It's really important. It's hard. We actually have, it's just about time for Find2Earn. I believe the game master is in the house. I am actually just going to run a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with Find2Earn in a moment. And I actually see Chess on Chain who's here too. We'll get him. We'll get him in the conversation as well. Also, just shouting out the Bitflow Surfer password for the daily Zeely campaign for Bitflow, the DeOrganized Bitflow campaign. The password is Bitflow Surfer. Head over to Zeely, take advantage of that. And it is now time.
Please, can I tell you something exciting? Oh, there I go. Please, can I tell you something exciting about...
No, you have to speak in a Russian accent.
Yeah.
Niet.
3,000 viewers. You know what I mean?
Please, can I tell you something before we move along?
Yes, please.
I finally got my entry into Manus. I'm extremely excited.
Ooh, dangerous.
Oh,
Oh, GP, I was enjoying that.
You okay?
No, I mean,
Turn the logo sideways and give GP some boobs.
There you go.
I got.
More utility.
you can put me back in the middle. Otherwise, I'm going to sit like this the whole time.
I don't know. Kind of think
I gotta. Let me figure it out.
Yeah, we can remove it.
I'm just gonna.
Listen,
I'm off to the side, you know.
what was I going to say? Oh. There we go. You can put it over here in the middle. Tommy, one last question. I've got a person coming on my show that doesn't want their face to be seen. But I don't want to just have the square with the, is there a way while we're running the show to hide their face?
it's risky.
Or if we pre-record it, can we put something over their face?
They can wear a skull mask.
Yeah, or they could wear a mask.
If there's a way for you to have one person on screen and then a share screen, right? Then you can have something on the share screen.
Yeah, like something.
They
like
might actually.
could.
You could do a share screen, but if you turn off their screen, you can't hear their mic.
Yeah, but can't we just
Although
put
GP
something
actually
over their
did
face
something
like
where
that thing?
You turned off, GP, you turned off Kitty's screen, but not her mic earlier. How did you do that?
So you scroll over her, her right here. Click those dots.
Yeah.
Hide camera, keep audio.
Oh, that's a new function. Okay, so there is a way to do that. You would have just no image.
I don't want that. I want to see their body. See, I want to be able to see them, but I just don't, because I can't talk. I'm not comfortable talking to like an avatar. I want a person I can look at and talk to. So she's happy for me to
Like
see her
me.
face. She just doesn't want the world to see her. So I was wondering, can I talk to her and then in post, we stick an emoji or something over her face?
That's complicated, but I think we could work it out. We'll follow up with that offline.
Okay.
I can help with the editing if you want, like if you record it offline and then we edit in post.
Right. If you pre-record, we could probably
Mhm.
do it. It's just a matter of if Mike could help with the editing. That would be helpful because as far as like having it track her face or his or her face or whatever would be hard. But we have
Thank you.
5 rounds of Find2Earn coming up, sponsored by ROO, Leocoin, Welshcoin, BPepe, Rap Nothing, and of course, brought to you by Skullcoin and the Game Master Xenitron. How are you today, sir?
Oh,
Back from the underworld just for this game. Okay. Rise and grind, mortals. The crypt is open for business.
All right. It is time. Sorry, I just got that link to you. I got distracted by some technical questions.
sorry. On air.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
it's
just
okay.
telling
This
the
is how we
info
do
of
it.
the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're building in front of everybody. We're
No, well, I
trying to
just
show.
we were all here together in one room, so it was just like I was blessed to have all these brains. So I thought I'd
We
Yeah.
have all stars today, yeah? And Jack become younger, and I am older.
Kind
Yeah,
of like the
we were-
reverse Backstreet Boys. You know, Backstreet Boys, they have one person with the goatee. Now, like we're like the opposite. We're melting.
Oh my God, you've
Oh,
all
we're
got.
You see it?
The
I
stack
need
mode.
one now.
This back, all right.
DeOrganized boys.
Let's go.
No, we're the DeOrganized men. That's what the DOM stands for, actually. It's not media.
That sounds like pay-per-view. The organized boy.
That's the After Dark version.
Jeez.
See, I could have a mustache.
There you go.
It work.
Now
Okay,
you're spy.
let me launch the first game just for newcomers.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
these
sir.
50 people, nobody from them win before. Let's go.
So we have the whitelist round is launching. We have our whitelist players ready, and I will share my screen just to show everybody what's up. You're on the Skullcoin BTC account, and you're waiting for the game master to launch his round.
Okay. Let's
It
go.
looks something like this. Let's go.
We
Are we ready?
to start. Yeah, since the new players, just the newcomers, they are slowly. Then our experienced players, we just launch and move forward. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The whitelist, 50 players. The game is on.
All right. So
Okay,
you
no, I
refresh
have-
your screen, and you're
I
gonna
have too
see.
much players.
Oh, too many. Hold on. False start.
False start, yeah.
And if you do want to register, you can let us know in the live chat. We need your X handle. Let us know in the live chat or post underneath a game round that you see on the Skullcoin account or on the DeOrganized live stream in the comments below. Just post on there. Let us know you want to be added to the whitelist rounds as a new player in Find2Earn, and we'll get you on there registered for the next game rounds coming at you probably Monday. Although there are some rounds going live on the night show tonight as well, I believe.
Yeah,
That's still
there's
happening?
just on Monday too. I think Monday or Tuesday we're gonna be going over Block 9 with WagMe.
Oh, nice. Very nice. He's what he's been building out over there is like the website's killing it. He's doing really well. His web design skill is up there. Excited about what he's doing.
Yeah, me too. I think it's gonna be fun to kind of see businesses adopt blockchain and then use Block 9 to post their business location on the blockchain. I think it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna deep dive it with him on either Monday or Tuesday, and get into some alpha with WagMe. Big shout out to Mr. WagMe.
WagMe's always ahead of the curve, and that's like we think about TradFi and all of these big applications, but the business aspect of blockchain it hasn't even gotten started yet, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity there. So it's going to be cool to see.
Okay, let's start right now.
All right. We're ready, sir.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
All right. So we are refreshing our screen and we're finding the game round. Whoop, I hit it too fast. Now everyone has an advantage over me, but I'm not allowed to play it in the opening rounds anyway because I'm just too good. I'm not that good. So first, you got to like and repost. You must reshare the stream as well. The live stream must go. Oh, I gave you the wrong link, sir. I'll update that for the next one. But share the live stream out, or my post about the live stream is fine. You can share that out too. That'll qualify for this round. You're clicking on the map link. You're looking for the image, and there's 2 rounds here, right? So is this 2 rounds? You got 2,000 ROO coin up for grab, 2 different images. You're looking for the image. I see one with a bunch of penguins, and I see another one with a couple of seagulls and maybe a couple of sea lions. And let me see. I don't think that's the specific one.
Bonus points to see if this is a place that Donald Trump has put tariffs on.
Well, it was, but then he paused
I
them.
think I got it. Can you see if I got it?
You got it? Let's see.
Yeah, Michael, you got it.
Awesome.
But I didn't add you to whitelist, but
It's okay.
I forgot.
Because you've already
but,
won too much.
yeah, let the new players.
All right.
in.
Awesome.
And we have 4 more games.
I'm just trying. I'm having a hard time finding it.
Well, you had 7 kids, so you know.
Not having a hard time finding that, sir.
Okay, I'm preparing the next games. So we have 4 games. We played 2 by 2, yeah?
Yeah, we can do two at a time, 2 at a time. So I'll be actually a total of 6 rounds because we split the ROO rounds up into 2 games for the newcomers. For those that don't know, ROO Coin, by the way, which we will be talking more about at 10 a.m., is we have the founder of ROO Coin, Jack Binswitch, legend of Stacks Legends here. Jack and Ian created ROO Coin. It's one of the best community coins out there. It is on Stacks. They do engage. There's a bunch of other projects on there that we'll talk about, including the Stacks Invaders and the ROO Runes and more stuff to come on Ordinals and all sorts of cool things in that project. They have a great Telegram group. You can join them over on Telegram, and can't say enough good things about ROO Coin. That's what you guys are playing to earn right now.
Okay, we have seems like we have 2 winners.
Hey, I've
or
got it.
no,
I've got it.
only one.
I'm out on the thing.
Did you reply?
Okay,
We have IC.
winner like we have BJ.BTC is a winner. He found the penguins.
Let's go.
And
Okay.
he was faster than Emmanuel for 10 seconds.
Has somebody
Oh, so we
found the
still
other
didn't-
one?
We didn't find the other one yet.
Yeah.
Okay. We're still looking for. We are still looking for this image. So in the grass, you got this little. So I'm looking at the image now. I'm going to try to really find this. We got the gulls and we got the ROO, but the ROO won't be there. But you got some sea lions and seagulls, and it's all in the grass. So,
Yeah, the Melanie was third. And I am Tan Kuza Waza Bambezi was a fourth. Nice
so everyone
nickname.
went for the first image.
Yeah, penguins. You have to find the birds. We still have 1 game, so people, you can find still 1 more. And I'm preparing the next game.
I'm looking, but I don't think I quite have it. This could be it. Maybe not. That looks like it's more grass that way.
Everyone chases the penguins. It's funny.
It looks. It's from the other angle. Maybe it's that way. Sometimes the
Someone
game
more
master
talks.
makes it harder than he thought.
Island not so big. There is only 1 road. Be smart. Okay, let me check. Emmanuel dropped the location, but I'm not sure if it's correct. No, it's a different duck. You are close, but you are not on the place.
Oh, where's the picture? Let me see. Can you show me the picture?
Yep, this is the image right here that you're looking for.
Oh yeah, hang on, I've got it.
You got
I
it?
Yeah.
There is two places with the white duck.
Yeah, this is the right one.
Did you drop comment, Melanie?
I'll just put it there now.
Okay, looks like we have a winner, and it's a good kitty. Another soul joins the leaderboard. Congrats.
Oh my God, guys, I'm getting into this.
All right, well done, Melanie. I think I found it too, actually. But good job, Melanie. That definitely took a little bit more effort than I was expecting in the round one. So we
I
have
found some seals. I couldn't find the duck.
there's a lot of seals there, and we were on Prion Island, which is, let's see where this is. Actually, I have no idea. Oh, I can't zoom out more than that.
I'm so excited. What did I get?
Okay, nice one. So, Peace Love, you dropped the link to the stream, the new one.
Oh yeah, let me do that.
I got 2,000 ROO.
1,000 ROO for you and 1,000 for other player.
Oh,
What?
right. Okay. Jack, I got 1,000 ROO.
Got the
What should I
root.
do with it? What's the best thing to do to invest my ROO?
Hold.
I'd hold right now.
Yeah.
I know, but can't I farm it, or must I just leave it? Not like farm it or do anything like
Yeah,
that.
you could farm it at Velar. Yeah, you could still farm it at Velar.
Would that be the best advice you think?
We
Yeah.
create one holders.
You got some STX, and you go and you get some ROO for on your emissions. Yeah, I'm telling you, people, 41 million token supply with the best distribution in the game. It'll be a good one to hold.
Yeah, you definitely want to diamond hand your ROO and accumulate as you can.
Yeah.
We teach people how to hold. Be a man, hold.
Be a man, hold.
That's a good slogan. We need to put that on a shirt.
We got a bunch of friends in this chat. Elder Statesman in there. DeFi Dictator, what's up? Good morning, Orange. Good morning, Little Dude. Good morning, Bank Eye. The Only Black, what's up, man? What's up? All the guys coming out to play Find2Earn this morning. And the next 4 rounds are going to be launched 2 by 2. So 2 rounds at a time. And these are open rounds for everybody. You do not need to be on the whitelist, but you do need to be fast, because our regular players usually find these games real quick. So we're on the Skullcoin BTC page. You have to share out the live stream. Make sure you share out, like the stream, share the stream. And when the game round launches, you also got to like and repost the game round, or the game master will take away your win and give it to the next winner. So do not lose your prize. You want that ROO so you can hold on to it. Be a man.
Be a man.
Be a
yeah.
man. What about me?
Yeah. Well, you should hold it too, Kitty.
Just me. All the other girls, you don't have to hold.
We should put it on a hoodie.
I like
Real-
holding all the girls.
You are above the curve. Other girls didn't learn Find2Earn yet.
Well, what was it? Crypto
I'm
Lady.
here leading the pack.
Crypto Lady actually won the big treasure
Yeah,
hunt.
Crypto Lady. Yeah, and Winnie.
Winnie too is
Winnie's top 5 all time.
yeah, definitely. Always. Where is Winnie?
She won yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah, she's been.
I know
yeah,
she won yesterday, Leo.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She was here yesterday.
Yeah, she found this man, strange man. Okay, are you
All
ready?
right. So we're
2 games
Ready.
simultaneously. 2 games
We are ready.
simultaneously.
Okay.
2 games
I
about
just
to launch.
painted
With
my thumb
countdown.
purple.
Okay, be the first. Just focus on the initial picture, and you have one chance to drop your yellow pegman.
Oh, this is gonna go fast. Be ready.
I don't know. Who knows? I'm just give advice to just focus and understand where it can be. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The Welsh game is on, and
So the first game is
the
for
Leo
Welsh?
game is on.
all right. So
Let's
I'm
go.
out here. I refreshed too fast, so I'm going to be on the Welsh one. I'm liking and reposting, and I'm clicking on that link.
Let's see who is the smartest, who is the fastest soul today.
And I'm going to share this tab. So I'm in my Google map, grabbing my yellow peg guy, and I'm just dropping him. That doesn't look like it's the right location, but maybe. That's a cat. Could be down there.
Okay, we have fast hands. Looks like.
Whoa.
Oh, and my phone just died.
Somebody already took both of them?
Oh, just play. I will tell you after. Yeah, the Welsh is done. The Welsh Welsh was easy.
That's amazing.
It's by
Super.
3 players actually.
So
Oh, yeah.
fast.
The
Yeah,
whitelist
Leo is
rounds are usually a little bit easier than
Yeah,
rare tip.
Leo is hard ones. Looks like.
I
All
need
right,
to-
going for Leo.
Going for Leo. And just a quick word, Welsh Corgi coin is really the original dog coin on Bitcoin. It's the original dog meme coin on Stacks. And it's one of the oldest coins on Stacks, and it's a community-run project on Stacks. Tremendous group over there. And Leo, created by Rubes, Unib's cat, the founder's cat, huge fan of what Rubes does over with Leo. We are very, very blessed to have such great contributors to our ecosystem on Stacks. And I am trying, but I'm not sure I'm in the right spot for this. I'm in the wrong. Sure.
Mortals, you are too slow.
All right. So
Hey, what's no?
I'm looking for this. We got the tree line, we got that box, we got that garden, and we got all those cows. And I'm gonna do this.
Where is this? Is it England?
Okay, seems like we have a smart person, and it's no, unfortunately.
Well, they could still be a smart person. They were just incorrect
Yeah.
with that. Yes.
Yeah, that's funny.
It was you couldn't have set that up on purpose if you tried, sir. All right, we're getting the wrong area here.
Jack, do you buy ordinals?
Yeah. I haven't had one in a while, but I was buying them back in February, 22, 23, whenever they released. Yeah, I was minting honey badgers for like $20 a piece.
I know.
Really?
How cool was that? I've got some of those. Akfa even just gave me one. I remember. I was like, I love that pink one. And he was like, oh, here, have it. Yeah, I've got like one of the...
If it wasn't
we
for
have
Jack, I
so many,
probably
so
never.
we have so many people who find the cows, but so far that's not the right one.
not the right cows.
Oh, yeah, people, you're so
And my phone
humankind.
died, so I can't look. I bet you I would have won this.
Oh no, we have a winner. Maybe.
Oh, we do, or not sure yet. This one's definitely a little bit challenging.
Yeah, it's challenging. We have a winner. It's a DeFi gamer, just a new player. It's very challenging
Very
because
cool.
it's on
Oh
starting
wow,
point.
really? A newbie one.
Well done.
It
Oh,
was on
great.
starting point. Just you're so leveling yourself, humans.
I love the joy that Xenitron gets out of seeing someone win. You
Yeah.
know,
I love everything about these games. So we have
Yeah.
2 more rounds left to go.
So
You
that
guys should be on the
It was a
Skullcoin
trick.
BTC account.
yeah, 2 more rounds from nothing and paper. This game was just a trick. I just give you starting point near the location you have to find, and everyone just goes so far. Oh, people, yeah. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
I'm also pleasantly disappointed.
Jack,
yes.
do you collect any fine art? Ordinals.
No, I'm too degen. You know, I always look for the
Yeah,
stuff.
you are such a degen, but
That's
you always
very-
come across as somebody who like secretly pulls out a cigar and has got a safe with a fine art collection in it.
Lots of guns, my fine arts gun collection.
Oh God!
But no, I do like art a lot, and I have some really cool NFTs that you know I got strictly for, you know, the artistic value, and you know, for no other reason. And I've got a handful of ordinals like that. But yeah, I always go for the degen stuff first, just because I love crypto so much. It's like Find2Earn. It's just a game for me in so many ways, you know.
Yeah.
But no,
Oh,
art is great. You know, I do. I think that what makes people is creativity, and you know.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for people who are good with visual arts. That's how, you know, that's why I have so many Gigapeppies, because you know I think that it's the best crypto art, you know, I've ever seen. It's, you know, in terms of a take on Peppy that is just, you know, it's kind of like Andy Warhol meets crypto. It's awesome.
Solid. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the GPSC style as well. That kind of psychedelia a little bit. Very interesting. Pulls from all sorts of different influences. Really great stuff.
Mm.
And now we can send them on BoostX on X. We can actually
I'm
send
gonna go and
NFTs.
test that out. The whole NFT thing on Boost. So what is it? You can send NFTs. Can you sell NFTs on Boost?
Eventually you'll be able to mint them on Boost. If you're you have to be like an approved account. You'll be able to actually have a link on your X account. Like, so we'll be able to have a link on DeOrganized where if we want to mint NFTs, if we created an NFT, we could actually just tell people, go to the page and there's a link to mint, and it can actually open up I'm using the wrong words, and because I'm not smart and technical. I've just been told about this by Crypto Dude, but it opens like a portal, and that portal can actually be self-contained right inside, like just a pop-up on X through BoostX, or you can actually send them to a website where you want to mint or whatever too.
So in
Crazy.
other words, like, you know, this would be awesome, by the way. So if Good Kitty wanted to host an artist who was doing an ordinal collection on DeOrganized, she could actually whitelist the people for the ordinals via a Stacks NFT that would act as their whitelist, right? And they could whitelist people during the show, and then that Stacks NFT could be used to be the requisite to go print the ordinal.
That's right. We could do a live event where people have to do some kind of thing during the show to get on the whitelist.
Incredible.
Whitelist them and then drop the link as whitelist right during the whole thing.
BoostX works on like Skullcoin Find2Earn to make registration process easier.
Right. Well, there's stuff. I know he mentioned a few things that you guys are working on, that he's working on in conjunction with Skullcoin as well. Like, so I mean, that
is amazing.
That's this going back to the question about what do we have besides DeFi and stables? We have games, we have interactivity functionality on socials, we have SocialFi, we have GameFi, we have media, we have all sorts of stuff going on in our ecosystem.
That's just a miserable person who hasn't bought enough stacks, and he's just miserable.
Right, or all they did was buy stacks, and they're focused on the. Are you ready, sir?
Almost ready.
All right.
I just wanna say, like, we contacted with Adam from Stacks Foundation, and he said good news for us. I'm on the winners from the hackathon because they removed one team.
Oh,
congratulations!
Whoa, very cool.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
From Biddle Battle, you guys made it up to the winner circle.
Biddle Battle.
Oh, that's awesome, man! Congratulations.
Well earned.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Is Skullcoin in Stacks Ascent?
We will see. I don't know yet. Maybe.
You're not sure. Well, you should.
We can do easily, but like we are already like in contact with Stacks Foundation.
Right, you already have. Right, you already have
us a lot. Yeah.
Right.
Is DeOrganized doing Stacks Ascent?
We are in Stacks Ascent. We are.
Where do I find all the intel on DeOrganized?
All the intel?
Yeah, like this stuff.
On the shows.
I'm just asking company questions constantly on the show. Sorry.
Yeah,
I just dropped you the picture.
That's a good point, though.
Show the picture.
Yeah, let's get the.
Let's get the game on.
Yeah, let's get the game. Is it launched?
Right. No, just show the picture from your DM.
Okay, let me.
Just let people just see what they have to find. There is nothing to find.
Okay, so this is. Okay, there is nothing to find here. This is the image for the next round. Well, there's going to be 2 rounds, right?
Yeah, we have 2 rounds. There was a Pepe with bike and this nothing. Fence with nothing. And it's a Ghibli. It will be not so listen, it will be not so easy, but you will start near this tower that you see on the horizon.
So you got the steeple here, you got the mountain in the background. There's some stuff to look for here. This little piece of molding in between the two floors on the house. You got some stuff here.
Okay, are we ready?
I am ready.
Okay, let's go. 5. Refresh calcul. Be ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The game is on, and the Pepe is on. Let's go.
All right. So I actually refreshed too quickly. I'm just going to refresh real quick again. The first thing I'm going to do is actually like and reshare both of these posts. Whoops, that's not the one. Oh, B Pepe's got the motorcycle in front. I like that. And I don't know which one to go for first, but I think we're gonna go B Pepe. So I'm going into the Google Maps.
The guy is going. So you
that
just
bike.
walk around like that. We play it so differently.
I like to walk around. It's I mean, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll drop back up here. Sometimes I'll bring up the street, the satellite view. I'll go down in a little bit closer, and I'll be like, oh, where does a house look like it might be different than these row houses? Because I think maybe that image is a little bit
See,
different.
that's how
Or
I do it. I do it
see
like
that?
this.
No, well, next time we'll have to share your screen
Yeah,
so
since
you
I'm
can
becoming such
show
a
everyone
pro
how to
now.
do it. That's not the right spot.
Yeah, but Good Kitty playing on mobile, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
right. She's playing on her mobile,
it's,
so
It's a
Yes.
little bit harder, I believe, on mobile. A little bit harder.
yeah.
that's my experience as well. By the way, I have found it's a little challenge. I've tried to play on mobile. I can't do it, partly because I'm an old guy. My eyes don't work that well. I have to like put my glasses off. Then I can't see the screen on the laptop to do the other stuff. So it just doesn't work for me.
And we got the heavy hitters in the building today. Got Megaphone, Isaac, and Orange all posting a location within 1 minute of each other. Got Megaphone and Isaac posted like 31 seconds apart. It was wild. You guys find stuff too
On
fast.
this one
On
or
this,
the other one.
this one
Okay, so this one's been won.
hasn't been checked yet.
Looks like there is a winner for round 2. So the not
Yeah,
image
for
there yet.
the PP round, winner is Utopias.btc. He's a new player. Congrats.
Wow.
Let's go.
Yeah, another soul joins the leaderboard.
Good Lord.
And
everybody-
and this card picture for Ghibli, I believe, found by Orange. Orange was the first, and the second was
Well done,
Orange.
Orange.
Orange is a beast.
yeah,
He's a
and
beast.
it's Megaphone found it too, but he was a second.
Oh, very good. So we had 1.5 billion wrapped nothing, and we had 800,000 Pepe coin for these last 2 rounds. That wraps up Find2Earn games for today. Thank you guys so much for participating. Thank you, Game Master, for, as always, creating awesome games for us to engage with and enjoy. Congratulations to all of our winners, and for all of you guys that participated. We had more onboarding today. We had more new members joining. We've had a tremendous stream, and don't go away because we will be back with the remainder of the ROO segment, followed by the Stacks Improvement Proposal show starting at 10:30 very soon. And thank you again, Zenny. Melly, are you going to hang out for the ROO? Now that you're a ROO holder, you're going to hang out for the ROO show?
Yeah.
All right.
I need my quant needs to figure out what I'm going to do with it. So
Your quant.
Your quant
I like it. I
is
like
now
it.
a marsupial.
yeah,
Yeah,
there we are.
thanks,
Be my
everyone.
quant.
Rest in profits, friends. Yeah, elder statement. We'll make harder games because, like, we'll make it different. You never know what the game will be, so that's a trick.
Maybe something to do would be maybe we can do 5 rounds, but you got to win. You got to actually solve all 5 rounds, and whoever solves the last round first, after solving all 4 of the other rounds, gets all the prizes or something like that. That might be an interesting way.
Oof. Creative mind. Yeah.
Orange will win it. We all know that.
Not necessarily. He might not get the last one first. He'll try.
Yeah,
So,
when we'll get leaderboard, we'll invent different things. Okay.
very good. Very good. So actually, I just want to rearrange this here. We got to put Jack at the top because it's the ROO space. Now. We're doing the ROO segment. It's time for We ROO, We Brew. Those that don't know, the ROO, I've never had as much fun in any community as I have with the ROO spaces, getting into the console that no longer sadly exists, the Telegram group, the playing with the Stacks Invader Mint, all the cool stuff you and Ian are constantly doing, the concept of creating an amusement park for degens, and that's still very much alive. Thank you so much for building such cool stuff for us, Jack.
I know I say it all the time, but crypto's fun. Like, there's a certain segment of people who really enjoy crypto for what it is, and like I think a part of it is it's kind of an old school thing, you know, being in the Telegram or the Discord, and hunting for alpha and having stuff in a community with cool stuff built for the community. And so, like, that's what ROO is. It's like we wanted to make something that was able to survive, and the way you make a token that's able to survive is that you make it anti-fragile as possible, and that really comes down to things like distribution. People learned some hard lessons about distribution on Pump Fund with Solana recently, right? Like
and we saw that coming for a long time too, right? And it just but before it came, there was a lot of it. It appeared to most players in the market that it looked like, there was a ton of adoption on this thing and people were making money, but a lot of it was just unrealized money that they made, and they didn't take profits, and they ended up, most people got extracted from in that kind of situation. And so ROO was the exact opposite.
Right. You want to have something that was fair for people to get into. So, like, who made the most money with Pump Fund aside from the platform itself? People who bundled their buy-ins to make it look like there was multiple wallets buying, and you had people with 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% of the supply. You have something like that, all it does is become an extraction mechanism. And if you have you can get screwy with tokenomics. You can make a token look like it's valuable based on how you distribute the token and how much you have in circulation, and you don't have liquidity. You might have a token. I saw some crazy stuff on Solana and other chains where you have a token that's valued at $100 million, $200 million on up, and it doesn't have $1 million worth of liquidity. So to get to your point, you're looking at something where you have number go up on paper, but it's almost like fractional reserve banking, right? Like if everyone went to the bank at the same time to get their money out, there's not enough there, right? So you need something liquid, and all of that comes down to distribution. So the idea was to create the best meme coin possible so that people who enjoy crypto can have something. You can build on something, you can make things for it, you can be a part of this community, you can potentially have better returns than just holding the underlying asset alone. All of these things, but in order to do that, you have to have a strong foundation. So that's why we launched it the way we did, gave everyone an opportunity to be involved, made sure that no one was whales at the beginning of the project, and it's over a year old, and we've had so much cool stuff come about after the fact. We helped. We were the first meme coin listed on Velar, because especially when the market, before it got super bearish, we're still one of the most liquid tokens on Stacks. with so much liquidity at Velar, we were the most liquid, highest value token there for months, and that allowed our holders to accumulate Velar just by staking.
Right. There was actually extra staking rewards back then too. That was great.
So it gave people a chance to to be early to something and win the rewards of that, which is great. And at the same token, even now, people can still, especially with STX at such low prices, you can still get exposure. You've got a great community. You've got, all of these things going for it. And at the end of the day, it's crypto for people who like crypto. And that's the fun part. Like, DeFi is awesome. DeFi is going to change the world in so many ways. But NFTs are awesome, and culture is awesome. And using tokens as a way to do other things, just like we're doing right here with Skullcoin, where you can use ROO as a reward to play this fun game. You can use ROO at Zero Authority DAO, to earn on gigs or pay for gigs. And so this is really, we're at a juncture where things are very early in the space. No one knows exactly how anything's going to look in the future, but crypto and the fun about crypto and the community aspect of this thing we called Web3, it's not going anywhere. And having a token, where you can find your tribe and be a part of something bigger and fun. That's what it's really all about. So, the dream for ROO is that, it's much like Welsh. Welsh heavily inspired the creation of ROO. And, if you remember back in the day, everyone associated Welsh with Rosar more than anything else, right? And now Welsh, though, no one really associates it primarily with Rosar. It's just Welsh. That's right. Like where you want to be with any token like this, and that's what a true community coin is, and that's what ROO is, and it's cool to make something that'll be a part of crypto history, and have people be able to come in and do more with it than I ever personally dreamed that could be done with it. That's all the exciting stuff to look forward to and be a part of.
Right. That is actually the unrealized value potential of community-based projects. Is you have a community that feels like they're part of it. So they want to produce things of value for the community. And so there's this value loop cycle, this engine of creativity, productivity, innovation on what you can and can't do. Like GP has actually had some opportunities to provide some artwork, help with the Stacks Invader mint, get a little bit of technical knowledge more on the NFT side of things. And so there was an opportunity for him to learn and grow. And then he also provided value for the ecosystem, for the community in that growth. So it's that's just one example. There's so many. Yeah.
Whenever Jack said something, he said that he was minting leaders within the ROO community. Like, he meant it. There's a lot of people that came out of the ROO community and started getting their start as content creators, and that's one thing that we were doing within the console. Unfortunately, the console is, gonna have to spin up a Discord or something like that now. But we were having these R3 spaces where we were having different people come up on stage and then unmute their mic for the first time and kind of find their voice. And that's what Jack and Hero and you, Peace, all did for me whenever I first got my start in Stacks. You helped me find my voice, and I got more comfortable within the community because of the way that you guys embraced me. And I want to be able to extend that out further. And ROO is just a great example of community supporting other communities as well. It's well integrated within every community in Stacks. You can see a ROO and they show up and show out. So when the time is right, you're going to see a lot of different leaders come out of the ROO camp. The ROO brews go hard.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, okay, so for instance, ROO, you know, when you think of like what Ian and I have done with ROO, we've never launched yet a ROO NFT collection specifically. But if you go on Gamma, you can see so many ROO NFT collections that have been made by the community, right? So you're contributing to the culture of the entire ecosystem. And then to Gigapeppy's point, then when like you find people in the space, and there's people in this audience right now who this will resonate with, who are like, I love this stuff. I want to do more. How do I do more? And like to have a community where you can help be guided and figure that out, because it's a generational thing. You know, you have people who, like me, who've been doing this stuff since 2017. I'm not going to be around forever, but I have a lot of knowledge to pass on. And, you know, when you accumulate that knowledge in a community and you give people a chance to learn and become who they're going to be, you just pass those values down through the crypto generations, right? And that's part of it as well.
Right on, right on. We actually have Eric in the house joining us for the upcoming SIP call in a few minutes. Eric, how are you doing, man? Welcome. Good to see you again.
Hello, man. Everything good. I'm waiting for the next SIP call. I hope you are listening me well, because I'm trying the new setup after last time I was rugged by my connection. So hope everything is fine. I see.
Everything is fine. We can hear you loud and clear. In fact,
Yeah.
I don't adjust your volume. I turned you down a little bit because you're very present. So good. Don't touch it. You're good. I
And
said
you're vertical this time, which is also cool.
And you're vertical.
Today there is a better market, so I'm standing straight.
That's a good answer.
Eric's the indicator. Yeah, if we're sideways, he's literally sideways.
Very good.
Hi, Eric. Nice to meet you. But I'm going to love you and leave you guys. It's time for me to go and make dinner for my son. So my husband's on tour. So I got to run. Otherwise, I'd love to hang around some more.
Give the boy a
Spend
little
time
meat.
with you.
Kitty. Give
Pardon?
the boy a little meat.
It what?
Give him a little meat.
Oh, no, not in this house.
I'll
We do. They eat meat. No, my husband and my son do eat some. My son eats a little bit. But I wanted to say, guess what? Right at the beginning, when everybody was making all these coins, I made a kitty coin. So somewhere out there is kitty coin, and you can buy it.
Well, we'll have to talk more about that next time.
Yeah.
Or offline.
I'll sponsor some. I'll sponsor a game.
We'll do some game. We'll do some find the kitty. I like it.
Yeah, Find2Earn, win kitty coin. Anyway, all right, guys, lovely to see you, and I'll see you next week. I'm gonna shout it out every day. Bitcoin and beyond, 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock on Thursdays. Every Thursday, 12 o'clock Eastern on DeOrganized Media. And
On
Melody
DeOrganized Media.
And you get a different side of everybody that comes on there that you do not know. So it's really great stuff.
Yeah, and I've got Taco coming on this week. So looking forward to that. So, and I'm going to shout that out every day. Anyway, have a nice weekend. Lots of love to all of you, and I'll see you next week.
Right
Thanks
on.
for
Thank
hanging.
you, Kitty. Have a great weekend.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Hi.
Yeah. No, man. But yeah, so I don't know, guys. Like, I'm one of these people who think that the value proposition for, crypto and Bitcoin goes far beyond things just like DeFi, even though DeFi is massive. And all of them, every value at prospect that is in this space is centered on community. And that's the thing that people coming into this space need to understand, especially from Web 2 or what have you. And yeah, so why not do things, for the community so that the community can do things for the network, basically,
Yes, I'm sorry. I was just I got stuck in a DM because I'm trying to make sure that the rest of the group for the SIP call is actually in the know. And
Yeah, there's Hero. King
Hero.
Sip.
Good morning, Hero.
Morning, Hero. How are you today?
Might be muted.
Hero's got laryngitis.
So Jack, when AI agent or invader?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah. No, that's one that we're got on hold waiting to see what we can do more with AI. Because where we landed was just the social aspect of it. And the social aspect of it's kind of played out. We really want your invader to be able to be like your digital assistant with a personality, especially when it comes to trading. So we're not there yet. So we just gotta wait until this gets a little further along, and then we can do that integration.
Right on. And nobody pointed out or quoted you. This is a very poignant thing. It's why we're all here, and it's why we're here together. You said do things for the community so the community can do things for the network. And that really is the fundamental part of all of this. It's like we're all here consensually to do from our own, to produce what we can to help support the community so that the community can actually grow the network, so that the network can support all of us. And that's also another value loop. It's really, that's how we build. It doesn't have to be extractive. In fact, if it's not extractive, it can live much longer and help much more people than any kind of pump fund type of thing can. So
100%.
we have a great community, and the RooCoin community reflects that same ethos that we're all here for. So thank you, Jack, for being such a huge contributor to the Stacks ecosystem, both with ROO and well beyond there. So with DeOrganized, with Hermetica, with all the things, with Seigel, with your articles, you're always supporting, man. So huge amount of gratitude towards you, man. The Stacks ecosystem is much, much stronger because of what you do. No,
and that's what we're building everything in here for. Look, before I go, just remember this is how the cycle works. A dev does something cool, the degens find it first, and then the money people come in and build things. But the degens become the community, right? The degens are an ever-present part of the community. You cannot separate developers, degens, and the money people, the VCs, and what have you. It all works together for Web3, and that's the part that we just can't lose sight of. But thanks for having me on, guys. It's always a pleasure, and I'll see you tonight. And yeah, y'all have fun with the SIP call. I'm out.
Thank you, Jack. Love you, brother. Much love. Have a great weekend. I'm sure we'll talk, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
And guys, hold your ROO, please. I am not giving you financial advice, but I am giving you financial advice. Hold your ROO. Hold your ROO. So it is now time for the SIP and Innovation call. We have Eric with us, Hero Gamer, and Hattie should be joining us soon. As always, obviously, GP is back from vacation, so he's able to hang with us on this call again. Love having you with us, my brother. And today we'll talk about, so we have, last week we talked around a lot around the BNS V2 user profile update and what's going on with that. I believe today is the last day for that to be finalized. I don't think that there was a lot of any contrary opinions to what's been discussed. So I believe that's going to probably move forward. Is there maybe any other stuff we can do with BNS? Is there anything we want to talk about with that specifically? Eric, I know you've been working on that. So what's your experience been in the last week since that call?
Well, it was interesting to hear all the opinions from other person about how we can enhance the BNS profile. It's very interesting to see many people that are trying to engage and to make this profile more compliant to their needs. So I see this as the first step that we have to approach to make a better profile. Like we already discussed, a common profile that can be used by any dApps in the ecosystem to fetch the basic data of each user. So this is important also for consistency across dApps and for sure a better user experience. As you know, actually, we have some lacks in the current zone file because we cannot add profile pictures for the user that in socializing and Web3, I think it's very important because your PFP represents you on many social and it's used by other accounts to recognize you. So it's important to add this small part to the zone file, but also many improvements in the chain resolution is very important because now we are not only using Segwit, we are using Taproot to address, so it's important to add new addresses to the specification in order that also the main wallets like Liter and Xverse can use this information directly from the user zone file to fetch these additional addresses. And maybe in future or soon we can add EVM addresses, Solana address, because the future is always more cross-chain, multi-chain, how you want to call it. So from the user perspective, having the possibility to store different addresses, it's very important because you are not only working on stacks, on Bitcoin, but maybe you have a bunch of NFTs on Solana, on Ethereum, on what else. So it's important to have a place where you can store all your personal information.
So where that would to play specifically, like an EVM address or a Solana address or an Aptos address or whatever, and you can add those on there, then someone building on Solana can actually incorporate BNS names into their functionality, right? So someone with a BNS name could potentially, someone building a Solana app per se, could actually use BNS to connect to that person's ID because the address information is attached to the BNS. Is that correct?
Exactly. This is the main goal I would like to put in production as soon as possible because it's important. Just to make an example, on VeraPerp, you can attach your MetaMask address too. So it's important that if they resolve your Stacks address, your Bitcoin address, they can fetch in one side, which should be your profile on the Ethereum machine too. So then depends by developer what they want to build. But as a protocol that offers profile information, is important for the user to add as much information he wants, because the user must be in control of the information you want to share, you want to remove. So we are we will offer in on DNS1 just a simple interface for the user to add all this information, but the same we will do. It will be possible on the organized to have the same configuration, calling the same smart contract, and update the user information across all the platforms. If I want to display Eric or Eric Ferrari like my official name, I will just update once my zone file, and on all the platform using the protocol, it will be automatically reflected. So it's very important by the user perspective, not only by the dApp's perspective. So then you can build everything, like for example, leaderboards, like we are seeing in StackingDAO or other platform. It's nicer to have a leaderboard with real DNS name instead of the Stacks address, because the Stacks address, it's difficult to recognize. I don't know how ends your address, but if I read DeOrganized.btc, I know it's something related to you, or
Right.
PeaceLoveMusic, it's your personal identity, or the same for everyone. So it's a very important piece for adoption.
Right. Adoption, and then all their functionality too. Like the added functionality will also help enhance adoption because there'll be more things you can do with it. So
Exactly.
very interesting stuff with BNS. So we think that and again, the focus of this is all of this is actually open source stuff. So this is to design a template or a standard for app developers to kind of follow. That doesn't mean that they can't go do things outside of that standard and still develop on BNS, because it is open source. So this isn't the end of BNS development. It's just the end of this specific task with kind of setting this initial standard, and then moving forward, that will evolve over time as well.
For sure. As Larry was pointing out during the last call, actually it's already possible to store any kind of information in the zone file. If I read directly from the contract, I will get all the information I want to store in it. I already tried on BNS1 to do something like that, but it's not all about the tech and what you can do, but it's more about the consensus. Because if we use the same pattern on all the dApps of the ecosystem, we have a more consistent result. If on BNS1 I store some data, then on the organized you store other data, but I don't know how to read it, it will make confusion. One standard, and upon that we can build and innovate more. Maybe in the future, I think it will be possible to store traditional DNS information about your name. The problem I see now is that we don't have the resource to resolve as a DNS server these names. So, but if someone can build upon DNS1 a sort of decentralized DNS resolver that can offer on the DNS side the information, all the records that the user needs to create a classic website. But this is a more complicated topic, and you have to take in consideration ICANN regulation. BTC won't be regulated, so the main browser won't resolve it if you don't add a plugin to your browser, for example. So it will take time to create an infrastructure for this kind of use. For this matter, I asked just to improve the current zone file settings with a more enhanced and free pattern, but to keep on this way, so we can be fast. We can ship everything within a couple of weeks. We can be ready. But this is not meaning that it ends here. We will continue to innovate depending on the needs, and every developer is welcome to start to build something new on BNS. And if it's interesting, I believe that everyone will push for the adoption and for the implementation of the current Zoom file.
Yeah, if I just double click on this consensus part, which is, I mean, that's like exactly why we are trying to help, people who have the motivation to have a common standard come together, leveraging like Peace, like coming on this show, leveraging Hattie's skills in coordination. Um, it is permissionless. It is open source standard. Like anybody can adopt anything, but we don't want to have like an isolated little world. We ideally want, most dApps to get around similar standards so that everybody have much better experience as a whole. And
Right. Well, and it makes the app development more efficient too, because they don't have to reinvent the wheel every time because
Yeah.
there's a standard there. And then it makes the interaction between all the dApps much more functional as well, because they're building.
It's almost like SBTC. It is a consensus. Like you can develop your own variation of SBTC, but
Right.
It doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, you could, but that's a good part. You could if you want to, but
Right. Somebody, it might make sense for somebody, right, to do
Yes.
that.
And but I think having a SBTC widely adopted is still really good, right? It offers permissionless. You can permissionlessly change if you want, but I think it's still better for most of the apps to offer similar user experience. So in the end, we sort of come together, said this is the SBTC that we all support together. And I think BNS can be thought in a similar way. It's almost like the network have standards like SBTC, like stacking is also a standard, I guess. The way proof of transfer works is also a standard. And you almost have like this sub pillars developing like BNS world. And then BNS can have like BNS IP standard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it really helps new developer come together, leveraging what the previous guys have developed. And I think what's practically gonna actually happen is like new developer come and see it, play around with it. Once it goes live, they have some new ideas, and then they start like playing around with it, and then offer like a new variant to Eric, and then they're gonna start collaborating on like new ideas around what they already developed like right now. So I think that's what realistically gonna happen. People aren't gonna go off the standard, but people gonna have their hands-on with Eric's and Dan's protocol. They're gonna play around with it, start to feel what is useful, what is not, tailor to their app, develop like a new idea from that, and then they're gonna feed back to Eric, and then Eric gonna generate more ideas.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Where you guys hear Buddy the Wonder Pup has found his lamb chop squeaky, so he's getting a little he's a little over 3 months old now. Hopefully he'll stop. He may not. Sometimes it goes on for like 20 minutes. So I'll mute myself and let you guys if that gets to be too much. But
so I have a question. Maybe Hattie and maybe Eric can maybe help answer. I put it into agenda. So what would happen next? And let's say everybody's agreed. And Eric, what do you need to do next? And what can we help you next? Maybe it's a testing phase or implementation phase, or what comes after implementation? What can we help you? Because, and also another question is, do you find having like a Hattie who can help you offload like the non-developer side, is it useful for you? And yeah, I think we can collaborate continuously, but just want to hear your thoughts. What's going to happen next? And then how can we help you?
So on the technical side, once we agree on the new pattern, we can start to apply immediately because on the contract side, there are no restrictions. But then we will need from Strata Labs the implementation on the API of the new pattern in order that when the user change his zone file, won't get an error from the API endpoints. Then we, discussing with Adi, we decided to keep an unaltered field that is the Bitcoin address in order not to break the current configuration from Little Wallet, for example, that is using BNS V2 to resolve your Bitcoin address. So in a transitory period of about 6 months, we will keep a sort of duplicated Bitcoin address outside and inside the new field dedicated to address. This is just to preserve the current configuration and doesn't make breaking change and disrupt other apps that are already working with BNS. Once it's done, there will be a sort of update also, I think, in the documentation in order that every developer knows how to write the data inside the smart contract, and so how to prepare this file. And then we should be ready. We should start to already resolve, and apps will need a little bit of time to fetch and display, for example, the PFP, but it will not be very different from what they're doing now, fetching the zone file. They will just find new fields dedicated to PFP and other addresses. So from my perspective, on BNS1 should be relatively simple to update our current front end to deal with the new settings. So we will be ready very soon. As it's confirmed, I will start to edit our backend and front end, but I think within the end of the month, we can be ready to start storing our new zone file.
Cool. So I guess like from my perspective, I guess you and Hattie, that's can maybe just continue to keep each other updated, and then whenever you have like a coordination or consensus stuff or amplification stuff that you need support from us, just like let Hattie know. Like he's your basically the go-to buddy for anything non-technical, and then from him we can facilitate anything else. How does that sound?
Sounds very good, and me and also Snezzy are very thankful for you supporting us in this small change, but in my opinion, very important. We like very much your support and the help you are giving to us, and I'm sure we will collaborate more on this stuff or maybe other stuff, because if I can help in growing the ecosystem, I will do it. So I'm very happy to collaborate with you, and I'm thankful to Eddie for the support he already offered me. We discussed a lot about the next implementation, and was also very helpful to find the right way to present the change, our proposal, and how to make it more consensus compliant as it should be in a decentralized environment. So thank you again.
Yeah, I mean, we're just using our experience from the SIP. You know, it's also about getting feedback. Feedback seems to be like a running, reoccurring theme. You know, every developer wants feedback. Every protocol blockchain developer wants feedback. Testing and feedback, testing and feedback. These are like the common words I keep hearing over the past few years. And we are also developing these new roles so that we're applying this, like Patty's role, my role, Peace role, in making this effort much more seamless for you developers. We are the non-developer, but we can help you guys doing the stuff that you find it like a bit of hustle to do, right? Because you guys live in the code world, and we can do, if we can complement each other and do everything that can help you, that's the role that we are also using your case as a way to develop our roles. So if you have like BNS SIP2, if you're gonna make other stuff, we can also look to help you with that.
Yes, your help is very important, because also the first time I wrote the post on the Stacks forum, the big difficult to me was to how can I do a CIP? What's next? I didn't know. I just finished and ended up. I would like to see an improvement on the BNS Zone 5, but all the process without you was not possible. Frankly speaking, I didn't know exactly how to move. I can have the ideas, but if I don't know how to get the consensus, we come back to what you was mentioning before. We remain an isolated world. While with this consensus mechanism, it's much, much better.
And I think one of the things that Dan mentioned about how to, maybe we can take this offline, but how to the process to the next upgrade. I think if we did have like a committee of key members, which we have in the cap world actually, and I think we were even thinking about how about committee of SBTC. So any SBTC relevant proposal would go through this committee. But I guess like BNS could have a similar committee where like the key apps with the biggest users of BNS, maybe you guys for sure, or Dan, whoever else, let's say a group of 5 to 10 people. And then if there's any new upgrade that you want to do to the current zone file, then just every now and then have like a vote for that to pass. So no, the reason having the voting is not really for the voting reason, is that through the voting process, you guys gonna read the proposal and other people gonna read, and then they're gonna get themselves familiar. And that's exactly what happens in the SIP process. We have some kind of voting, but it just drives the technical guys to focus on a proposal to give feedback. So I think that process helps, but I think maybe the next step from upgrade perspective, whether you have BNS SIP2 or even an improved version of the zone file, you could have like a group of 10 people, and then say the quorum is if over 50% vote yes, we will make an update to the zone file. Or is it like other BNS standard consensus that we want to gather around? So that'd be number 2 proposal. So similar to how the BIP work, and then those documentation is stored somewhere globally that any new developer can go access. So I think maybe the next step, at some point we can help you guys put together like a committee and then you guys just have some basic rules how the committee would work. The quorum is 70% or 50%, however you guys want to decide, and just experiment. And then I think starting from there could help to address what Dan was saying about what's the process to upgrade.
So is the next step for BNS v2 to actually propose a SIP to adopt the standard that's been proposed? Is that what happens next?
It would be like BNS, its own world of, because it's not like a whole network, it's like a section. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I need to think about it, actually. I need to ask maybe other people whether it just goes in the SIP repository, or is it like under a BNS repository, which is a subsection of the SIP. I don't know. I think they were talking about like,
there's a BNS. Is there a SIP that created BNS, or is there just a repository in Stacks? Or
I don't think so. No,
So
I don't think it's BNS is in SIP.
Yeah, so the process, the next step from here is that Pato gets the file together with Zeus, and they'll take about 4 weeks to do to change it. And then obviously then apps will be made aware of that there's a new file will launch telling that it's been updated, so that files can use that. And as Eric said, is that we need to ensure that we hold the Bitcoin address at the moment, because some apps are reliant on that, like Leather, to make sure that it's there. And then obviously have a 6-month grace period where that'll drop out. The primary focus of this is to get the first step through. So we're trying to avoid standardization and just say that from a onboarding of new developers and building new technology on top of Stacks, and also from a user experience point of view, we need to have something that isn't standardized, but just gives a framework for us to build out from. So we've got a starting point that's a lot better than we had before and reflects where the technology is moving to in the future. So it helps people to understand what we're trying to do. And it reflects what ENS and other domain services, like naming services, have done. So we're in line with everyone else as far as blockchain technology is concerned. And then the following step, which is what Hiro you touched on, is really important, that we need to build a focused group around this. And the apps are really important to us. So like Leather, StackingDAO, all of these big DeFi and wallets need to be involved and have a roundtable to make sure that we can continually evolve the BNS name and the naming service in line with what they're building. So that, and also we can leverage their exposure and their communication channels to make the community aware of when we want changes or when changes are coming. So I think we do need some form of process to be built out of this, whereby we have a roundtable, maybe a cab of people who look at this, make sure this is best for the ecosystem, and then have its own process of a SIP, or it follows a SIP process. I don't know yet. We need to speak to all the key players.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. No worries.
So from an onboarded new dev, I'm a new dev. I want to adopt BNS into what I'm building. Where am I going to find that information to start?
We're going to have to get
Actually, the main information are in the Strata Labs documentation. bnsv2.com is the website for they are offering a complete SDK to manage all the contracts. So it's very easy for a developer to implement BNS.
So BNS.com is probably the easy place to start, and then there's stuff in the Strata Labs GitHub as well.
So it's almost like we need to drive the BNS standard documentation to Strata Lab, it sounds like.
Yeah, somewhere, just a place where it's going to be. Actually, the website is probably a link on the BNS v2 website is probably where you want to direct people to. And then from there, it may be even a link tree or a series of links that will actually be a link to BNS resources, and however that gets structured or wherever that is.
This is
who's running the BNS v2 website right now? Is that Zeus and Pato?
Yes. They are they will be updating the zone file API endpoint to match the new pattern. They agree on this. We already discussed it, so we just find a consensus on this full new mechanism that we are testing, and once done, we will be able to make the updates.
Cool. So I think the BNS V2 website is probably the place we would direct onboarded people looking specific for information on BNS, and then wherever they determine is the place to put resources on there, that would be up to them to decide. I mean, we can always coordinate, but
I hope the main Stacks website will update the information about BNS on it, because there is still the old BNS V1, like you say.
right.
But it's important that they update the documentation to find, or just to redirect to Strata Labs documentation, in order that we have consistency. Also, when a dev comes to Stacks, he has to find the right information, and because BNS is the Stacks profile protocol, they should find the updated contract information.
Do you have the exact link to the Stacks Co website that you can send me, where information is updated?
I send you later. I need to find it, but I remember there was, then it's a little bit fragmented, the information also about Stacks.js. I know they just improved to a new version, so maybe there is still some stuff that has not been updated.
No worries.
So,
If you send the link to us, me or Hattie, we will try to get it through to Foundation and get it updated, or Strata Lab.
okay, thank you. I will.
Cool. Maybe can I move to the next topic?
Sorry, Hero, before we end the topic, is it worthwhile seeing if what Adam does for the new developers? So is there any repository or anything that they've built for new developers? So where do they go when they come into our ecosystem? Where does he point them?
Oh, right. There is a
documentation there.
Yeah, there is a documentation for Stacks.
You mean like at the get started, the start building on
Yeah.
Stack?
That's where we should put it.
No,
Yeah,
there's a doc. I'll share it in the chat. It's
Cool.
docs.stacks.co, and I think that's where you learn all the basic, all the. I think that's where the developer.
So at
go.
stacks.co, there's a start building button on the main stacks.co page, and that brings you to like where to build the app. Like all the tools are there. You just scroll down.
That's where we should be.
Yeah. So there should all the developer tools are on there. There's stuff for TXTX, Stacks Docs, the Hero API, Stacks Blockchain API, Stacks.js. That's all at it's stacks.co/build/get-started. And it's also just the get started button is the big purple button at the top of the page on just the main stacks.co page.
Cool. Hattie, does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking that would be the best place to put it. That was all. Like, try and incorporate and bring Adam into when he's onboarding new developers. That's where they need to see it, and that's where they're going to push it. That's probably the first and most important place.
I think we just need to speak to Adam and Kenny, because Kenny does the documentation. Adam does a little bit more community facing, would probably coordinate with Kenny to have a central place, which I don't know where that is. So maybe the best person is to get those two, get answer from those two. So then you can tag the BNS onto there.
Perfect.
My understanding is that Kenny is like kind of on vacation or out of the office for the next couple of weeks.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so if I may share my screen so we can move on to the next topic. Can you guys see
Yes,
my
sir.
screen? So
I'm bringing it up right now. Here we go.
number 2. So we've done the current agenda number 1. What about what SIP to facilitate next? We want to find another one similar to what we've done for BNS, and maybe find Peace one that he can lead. So I thought maybe we can go through the Stacks forum just for those who've seen it the first time. This is Stacks forum, forum.stacks.org, and this is actually where a lot of developers, whether app developers or blockchain developer in the Stacks ecosystem, come and check out some nerdy stuff, even the rope stuff here as well. And we have things that we could help facilitate, like proposing Bitcoin address, which Larry proposed. Or there's one that Fridger just updated recently about improving stacking. Improving stacking probably going to be a consensus breaking change. And I think the Bitcoin address is not a consensus breaking change. I think so. All of them are really interesting, but I wonder whether any of you have any particular interest.
They're both actually super cool. I think what Larry's doing is actually going to be a huge unlock for Stacks, because it basically puts the idea that there is not really a difference between Stacks and Bitcoin from the functional end for the average user. It's huge. However, I think Freeger's is a little bit more, maybe needs a little bit more conversation on it and more input on it than what Larry's doing, because I don't think there's a lot of, well, I don't know the technical side of what Larry's doing, if there's a lot of input that's needed there. But what Freeger's doing, because it seems consensus breaking and also seems very interesting, I think that's probably the one. My opinion would be to focus on that one next. And I do have just a little bit of a quick bullet point summary explaining some of the details on that, if now's a good time for that.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So it is on there in the pull report as SIP 0211. It is live and it's on there. And what it proposes is a lower minimum STX requirement to join stacking, fairer, more efficient reward distribution, and native support for delegated stacking. The goal is to broaden participation, empower more stackers, and strengthen decentralization across the network. This could open the door for smaller STX holders to actively participate in securing the network and earning Bitcoin rewards. So it makes stacking more attractive to lower dollar holders, and without needing to pool externally or manage complex tech. We're looking for more feedback. So, and there is also a that is in the forum as well. I think it starts with remove cooldown cycle, because that's also part of it. To remove the cooldown cycle, streamline solo stacking and delegated stacking, and improve the relationship between signers and stackers. I think it's a great project. I think it's definitely, if we can enhance, not that the current stacking situation is super cumbersome, but if we can remove the cooldown period where I don't have to wait, I can pull my stacks out sooner. Deploy, like I'm in a pool, I'm waiting for my pool to finish the cycle so I can actually have access to my stacks and redeploy them into StackingDAO. Normally it takes till the end of the cycle, and so it takes a while. You have to wait a cycle to restack. So I think anything that actually makes things more efficient and easier for the end user without actually changing anything else fundamentally makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. So if that one piques your interest and think that's practically will help a lot the network and a little bit sort of in the earlier stage, we could get Fraser on one of these calls, maybe just to explain what the problem statement, the current situation, and maybe get some stakeholders together Yeah, so how about we we say we tackle that one next?
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Although I actually am a huge fan of what Larry's proposed too. I think it's actually a huge value add for Stacks. I just don't know that it needs as much. I mean, we can actually also like kind of follow that too as we're doing these shows. We don't have to have them just be focused on one thing specifically. So we can kind of keep updating that as well. I wouldn't ignore it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so we go first, Frigger. Not first or second, but we do that at the same time. Frigger's proposal and Larry. So we can get like maybe 1 week Frigger on, the other week Larry on, and see where both of them are, and see what facilitation week how far away they are from the finishing line. And we can devise our strategy to help them. Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Awesome. So
I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts on that. Like, what do you think, Hattie?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you going to pick up the Frigger one, the stacking cooldown?
Yeah, I'll pick that up and kind of handle the coordination of it and like kind of manage getting the I'll get into the forum, chat about it, ask some relevant questions, do some posts on it, drive the general conversation for the. I mean, you're obviously it doesn't have to just be one person's input either. Like, we're welcome to. I know you're doing more of the focus on the education side of things, so anything that you can kind of help on that side would be hugely appreciated, obviously.
yeah, I think the whole point of having like a person dedicated to something is not like nobody else can jump in. It's actually just having an easy
Someone
way.
responsible.
Yeah, somebody responsible. There's a clear responsibility there, and also like the SIP author just can go to that person for anything, rather than, hey, now you have 10 people you can go to talk about anything. You just have like this one person point of contact that then you can delegate whatever job out from you. I guess that's the idea.
Yeah, and I'm happy to take this one on. I find it very interesting. I'd love to get a little bit more, have a little bit more conversation with Frigger too, kind of be able to get to know him.
Exactly. I actually think it's a great opportunity to network as well. Whenever you get in contact with a SIP author, which tend to be pretty big brain people, you know. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. And this one is a hard fork. I already saw that on the SIP. So which going to require further coordination with Foundation, because Foundation will want to put out like posts, blogs, tweets, or whatever. So it's going to have even more like marketing opportunities, not just because like smaller SIPs, they like non-consensus breaking smaller SIP, they probably wouldn't advertise, like allocate a lot of resources. But any hard fork, I think it is only correct like we let people know and make educational efforts around it. So it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I like it. Go ahead, Hattie.
Sorry, Pete. Hero, do you want me to start warming it up with Larry then?
Yeah, why not? So if you, let's say, so what you're saying is, Hattie will take on the Larry's Bitcoin address improvements. Or I can do it. So it's up to you if you wanna. If I can, I'm also acting like one of you. We're all three. We can all allocate it one of these things. So up to you, Hattie. I'm quite happy to do it. Or if you think it would be a good opportunity for you to do it, just take it on.
Okay, I was just saying just to start warming it, because obviously Larry will probably follow pretty quickly after or whilst the stacking one.
Yeah. I think if there's any consensus, what would happen is if Frigger one really needs to be done, we might have to bundle like other consensus breaking thing. I don't know how far the developers are into the wasn't development. That surely could be a breaking one. So we might even have to ask the core developer, what other things have you got going on that could be ready the same time that Fridger is ready to upgrade, so that we can bundle a few important improvement into the same upgrade, hard fork upgrade.
Okay. Well, mine was more looking at, we have a huge opportunity for marketing, because obviously if we can get the cooldown through and that works, then we also have the Bitcoin element, and we've got BNS all running. It actually is really good, a rolling on effect of showing growth in the system and that we've been progressing. So that's why I was looking at trying to get Larry's moving, because it just gives us more talking points and marketing.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's hard fork, but I think people don't care whether it's hard fork or soft fork, right? Or no fork. People just want to see improvements in the network. So I agree with you.
Right. Well, and as far as a marketing standpoint, of course, like that's a huge. Both of these are actually big narratives. BNS is another one. You know, these are all things we should constantly be shouting out and talking about for sure.
Cool.
Any development.
Just conscious a little bit time. So I guess the next topic we can go through pretty briefly, I guess, because I want to talk about scheduling as well. Maybe we can get that in. So what about innovation shows and Blockface? Because we have like Blockface is really skillful person with AI. We got him really interested in sort of coming from the other direction. So how do you see that we can fit that in? Maybe we have one of the week have Blockface on, and we don't talk about SIP, we just talk about innovation stuff.
I mean, it's entirely up to you, and I don't know what his availability is. You know, I can't speak for him, but I'm happy to have him come. I mean, if we want to do, like, I don't know if we're talking like every other week, or if we want to actually add a segment at the end of the show where he comes on and does it every week, even if we just give him a half an hour, or if he needs an hour. You know, I mean, if there's something he wants to do, where we have our SIP conversation, we have a hard stop at a specific time because we're going more into the innovation side. I don't see so much of a difference, to be honest with you. Like, we're doing innovation shows all the time on DeOrganized anyway. Like,
right.
We're having people on to demonstrate. Like, we have Ishan from Bitflow that won one of the Biddle Battle awards. He's coming on the night show tonight to do a demo. You know, Rafa has been coming on periodically to demo his beefy swaps and also working for the catamaran. So I mean, we're doing that.
You're basically doing it already. So
right. So it's. I mean, if I'm happy to have Michael come on and host, and if we want to schedule a specific time for him to come on and do, if he just wants to show AI applications and how we can integrate that into SIP and or innovation.
I actually think, in my opinion, right, looking at everything that's already going on, I actually think that if I were to say how best to integrate him would be to have a dedicated mentorship from Blockface, and that can help uplift everybody's prompt skill, AI skill, and some of which might be redirected to SIP, some of which may be redirected to other efforts. So I actually think, like you said correctly, you're already doing innovation stuff, you're already talking about it, and Blockface already sometimes come on to talk about it. So I think what could be a more different segment would be like a dedicated AI mentorship show. But just my thoughts.
I love that idea. Actually, we did do an AI show. That was actually where Michael first joined us with Blockface. First joined us on DeOrganized. We actually did a specific. We were doing the AI deep dive.
I watched it. I thought that was pretty cool. He was showing different apps.
And then we actually were going to just incorporate it into a segment on the morning show, but it just became more like he just kind of joins the morning show, which is great. Like he's obviously, we don't want to pigeonhole him into one thing. So if we want to do a weekly show and just figure out a time that works for him and works for whoever else, we can actually do that on Fridays at the end of the SIP call if he's available, or we can do it at another time, or we can just do segments on the night show or the morning show as he's available. Really, we're very flexible. But I do think that it was great content then. He's always kind of learning about more. I mean, the tools are always developing too, so there's always more to talk about.
Yeah. I would tune in that show just for my own personal sake.
Right.
With or without SIP, it really doesn't matter. It's just really interesting to learn all this AI stuff.
Right. And there's a lot of different AI projects in our space. There's a Satoshi AI, the AI BTC dev guys, WineTwits with his STX AI project, all sorts of other stuff. Alex just launched some AI stuff. There's always new AI stuff launching. So there's always new stuff to talk about. So it's a subject that we would love to have more content on our platform for in general anyway.
Cool. I'll drop him a word. Maybe he's listening. Okay, so next Friday, I thought maybe we could have a break because, everybody's, need to touch grass, connect with the family because it's Easter, right? America.
Friday. Yep. It's Good Friday.
Yeah. And then maybe I was thinking like the week after we could have Fraser on, and like the week after we could have actually changed this to Larry.
So who's the one that proposed the POX cooldown? Which was it, Fraser or was it
Fraser?
Fraser. Okay.
So it's a improvement on stacking. So it lowers the 100 stacks minimum, which isn't a huge barrier, but there are people that are earning like 10 stacks on a game round that could absolutely be stacking and would help the network better too. So I think that's a worthy improvement. And then Larry the following week makes a ton of sense.
And then the other one, I think you guys and Trip keep pushing me about, is maybe having like some DeFi guys get together and see what SIP we can create from that.
That would be great if we could get the protocols on here. We can get Bitflow and StackingDAO and Alex and Velar and all of those guys in the same. Jacob, get all those guys in the same room to just talk about, just to kind of even start the conversation as to what kind of standardizations might be beneficial to the ecosystem that they can kind of collaborate on.
Yeah.
Smart.
And the other thing that I keep hearing sometimes is like the time zone situation. Do we want to keep every Friday 10:30? For me, it's totally easier this way, but I know some people may prefer to have different time zone.
Well, we can absolutely be flexible as people need. We do have the advantage by doing it at 10:30, and the reason 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. The reason we chose that right now is because we're carrying the audience from the morning show, so we're going to get more participation, more viewership.
Yeah,
doing it that way, but we certainly don't have to.
I know Larry is in Asia time zone, so maybe we might have to tweak for that week.
Well, he's actually made it. The couple of times he's been on the show has been BNS discussions. He made it last week, and he made it. It was a 10 o'clock, I think, show back when we did the original BNS panel back in the fall.
I'll leave this one to Hattie. Hattie, you just talk to Larry, see what fits.
I'll pick up with him, and see what's best.
Yeah, I think we might have to work with Larry. Oh, just one interesting point. I put out a poll, which, I was just curious what the people want to hear. They really don't want to vote. They want some new features and just generally want to learn more. And I think it sort of confirms our feeling as well. People just want to be educated more about stuff, less bureaucracy, more interesting features. So anyway, just a little thing to share.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. I mean, that was my draw to D grants originally, Hero, was just getting to learn about what people were building and the ideas people had. And so I think that is a huge draw, is that people want to learn about what's being built.
Yeah. So, all good. I won't talk about this one in such detail, but if you guys do take a look, if there's anything missing from this strategy thing, let me know. We won't spend too much time because we don't have much time today. So yeah, I guess the most important thing, I think we can go ahead and start like coordinating Bridges 1 and Larry stuff. And BNS 1, we just like keep going with Eric, see what he needs, or maybe you can offload that one to me. Also happy with that, and I could just like monitor, helping whenever. Yeah, that's all from me really. Anybody else got any thoughts? Any comments?
Yep. All I wanted to say was, sorry, Peace, keep cutting you off.
No,
Eric,
not at all. It was me. It was my fault.
No. It's all good. Eric, we'll catch up on the back end. I'll set up something with you so we can follow through on the BNS stuff.
I like the idea of having the person that has proposed the SIP to come on and kind of talk about their thought process.
Yeah, no, 100%. We used to do that on the SIP call, like in the Twitter space, but actually you can't share anything. So screen share, and actually I find it here it's like 10 times better. So
yeah, and it lasts. Like this video we can make more content out of this video, and we can make short form pieces that it's easily digestible and people can come back and find it later. So it's a better medium.
It's helpful for people like me that like need a little bit more to understand what's going on with the SIP, like maybe like some visuals and stuff that helps people like me learn about what you guys are doing. So I like the format for sure.
Yeah, me too. I think visual, I'm also a little bit more visual guy. And when you show me a GitHub repo, then I can, go to GitHub. Because if you just mention to people on Twitter space, go to Stacks forum, go to GitHub. People are just like, 1 year in, 1 year out. But if you have a focal point, like screen share, people actually watch you go to the website. I think it really helps.
Yeah, I like being in front of me, like while we're talking about it, because then I have it right there instead of like, oh, hey, I have things that I'm doing at one time already. And then like I forget to do it, So like I do like it.
Cool. SIP deputies, any other things that you want to raise?
Just want to remind everybody that this is an open conversation. This is for everybody to get involved. Do not be shy. We need more participation. So come join us. Get into the calls, get into the live chat, get into the forum, get into the GitHub. And if you have questions, ask them, please.
Yeah, totally. I think sometimes we should just bring like Rosa. Rosa is like another person we could like help.
Well, there's Rosar's SIP. There's a bunch more that we could actually still kind of cover a little bit too. Whether or not they're pressing.
Yeah.
His liquidity pool SIP is on there. Keyword inside of a block is something that I think I'm not sure exactly what it is, but that might be kind of something that similar to what Raf is working on with having the like Bitcoin to SBTC swap via contract.
I would love to have you guys have Rafa on because he's got this style thing. I want to know what that is about.
Yeah, well, he's been coming on the night show, but he talks about a couple of different things at the same. He's working on 6 things. So it's we definitely Rafa, maybe we try to get him in the lineup on, or even just kind of get him to come participate on the shows regularly if he's available. I don't know. He's always head down. But there's a lot of stuff on here that that still could be touched on. Like even like we could do an update on the RPC standard SIP, or because that was something we just passed, or SBTC. We could actually do some updates on some of the other stuff too, where it's gone, that kind of stuff. So there's no shortage of SIP content available here. But I think we have a good start with these two, identifying these two as the main ones that we want to kind of focus on and have a schedule for the next few weeks on what to expect.
Yep. Well, couldn't be any more grateful than having this platform. Super good, man.
Well, we would never have had it without you, sir. So thank you. Any other business for today?
No other business for today. All good for me.
Hattie, did we cover
any other comments about zone file? People should go to the GitHub, log their final comments. Otherwise, end of today, or I don't know when Eric will lock it down, but let's just say today is a deadline for locking the comments down for DNS zone file. So if you're a developer and you want to have your user profile displayed on your website, go to that GitHub and comment.
Amazing.
The only other thing is, Eric, are you going to respond to Philip on Stacks forum? Needs one.
It was about the IP address, or now. Yes, I try to reply about this topic because I don't see actually on the focus of what we are achieving now. So
yeah, I think really like I haven't seen Philip's app being used yet, so it's impossible to accommodate everybody who have users and have not users. I think it might be easiest to go with the current most users are, which is you guys, and maybe Boom Wallet's coming up. So I think it makes sense to have the leading protocols with the biggest users have a little bit more say at this stage. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the sandbox as well, haven't we, Eric? You can always put it in the meta region anyway. For now.
Yes, technically, as I told him, he can use the URL field to add the IP address. Then you have to configure your server in order to present a web page, but it's your stuff. I mean, if I put the IP address of my server, I can log into my server because I haven't built a website on the root of my server, but you can do it, you can configure it, and if you just put an IP address with a simple redirect, like now we are using, you can open your website. So then really integrating BTC names inside a browser, it's much more difficult. If we start to think to go that direction, we will take months before we will be ready. So in my opinion, let's do this. That will enhance a lot the current settings, and then we can start to think always to make it better. I'm open to any kind of suggestion. We just need to increase and improve the current protocol. But while it takes times, it's better to go step by step. That's all.
Yeah, I think once this is improved, like Philip will see the next version, there's no downside for him having a new one, right? So, it's either the current one or the new one. There's no downside for him. And once he sees the new one, he's going to have other thoughts. And then he can chime in. There's still plenty of time in the future for him to chime in, I think.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Eric, for joining us again, sir. Always a pleasure. Love what you're working on. Hattie, excellent stuff the last couple of weeks with all putting all this together and all the listing. And of course, Hero. We couldn't have done any of this without you, sir. You've been a huge driving force in this process and a bunch of other things on Stacks. And GP, I know you've been quiet, but you're the unsung hero of our success on DeOrganized on a daily basis. So thank you too, sir. And I'm super happy you were able to join us for this one. Tune in every Friday at 10:30 for the next few weeks at least. It does seem like this is a good medium to do this, so we will continue until we find a better way to do it. I am PeaceLoveMusic. We are DeOrganized Media, coming at you live on BitcoinLive, Decentralized broadcasting every Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m., bringing you all the news you may or may not care to get. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Peace out.